Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight on this very lovely Friday evening. And I really want to express some appreciation for you choosing us as a part of your evening entertainment venue, knowing the various bits of other media that have also come out today where you could make those choices. So please speak, and related to that, no spoilers, please, in the chat if you happen to have seen some of those things that I'm talking about. So again, welcome everybody. Welcome to Rook and Rasp. We're doing a mini series here, The Escape. This is we're playing the game Battlelords of the 23rd Century, which is about as awesome as it sounds with that title. And Battlelords has actually been around, of course, for 3+ decades. It's an aged, seasoned game. But what we're doing, we're playing the Savage Worlds adaptation, and this is for a short to come, soon to come Kickstarter in that regard. So you'll definitely want to keep an eye out for that. So we're using some playtesting rules in that regard. I went over the kind of the general rules of Savage Worlds in the previous episode, so I'm not going to really kind of do too much with that. You'll kind of see things as they go. But please, by all means, if you haven't seen part one, I'm not saying stop right now, go back and watch it, and then come back here. No, stick around here because we're gonna do a little recap, so you'll know what's going on. But absolutely take the time to go and check out Rook and Rasp's YouTube channel to watch part one of The Escape as well. So I'm gonna have the players introduce themselves here shortly, but actually, I think I'm gonna have you go ahead and introduce yourselves now before we get into the recap and everything. Actually, no, hold on. We're gonna do this first. Chat. This is for you. As the game goes on, one of the components of Savage Worlds that are available to the players and myself are things called bennies, and bennies are little poker chips, little chips of fun. They allow you or the player or me as the game master to do a lot of things in game, from re-rolling damage to absorbing damage to getting better initiative cards to influencing the story slightly. A variety of cool things that bennies can do. And normally the players start off with a set amount and they will earn more as the game goes on. I, as the game master, start out with a set amount, and I generally do not get to earn any bennies as the game goes on. But you, chat, you have the ability to award the players and even me bennies. If you do, let's see if I can remember the names here. For the players, if you want to spend some channel points, you can use Cosmic Luck, and that will award a player a Benny. Be sure to designate in chat which player or character that you want to award that Benny to. And if you want to award your friendly neighborhood game master a Benny, that is known as Black Hole, comma Sun, and that gives me a Benny. And crazily, much to my surprise, last session I got awarded like 4 bennies by chat, and that is
It was more than that, Chris, because you blew through them all in the combat.
I really did that last combat. I was spending them just, yeah, like they were going out of style, and it was doing me no good. Which is usually par for the course in regards to how I roll dice when I'm GMing. But yeah, so I don't mind getting bennies. That's I appreciate that very much, chat. Also, chat, and I'm sure that like many of you, as you have played online games over the course of these past couple of years, there one of the funnest things about this is having a Discord channel where you can upload GIFs that are relevant to the action going on at this time. Rick and Rasp has such a channel for that, and it is what is it? Gift Train Choo Choo, I believe is the correct name. Um, Oh yeah, there's thank you. John actually, or John, our producer, just reminded me of one other thing. I gotta do that as well. But anyway, and the Rook and Rasp Discord channel, by all means, if you can get in there and get into the gift train, feel free to please contribute and enjoy the stuff that goes on in there. Let's see. We'll do adventure deck here in a moment. And but one thing I did want to award to my players, because of the great job you did last time. Each one of you gets a point of conviction. And so that's kind of like a special Benny. And the point of conviction basically it allows you to spend that once, and you get to add a d6 to whatever it is that you might be doing at that time. And not it's just a straight up add to it, as opposed to rolling like an extra die. Well, you are rolling an extra die, but you get to add it to the result of whatever it
Okay.
is, whether that's a damage roll, whether that's a skill test, whatever you want to do. It's you get to add a d6, and like any other die in Savage Worlds, it's going to explode as well. So mark or set aside a point of conviction for each of you that you can use. All right, so now, yeah, let's have the players introduce themselves and their characters, and then we'll go into a little bit of recap, and then we'll get started. So let's start. Actually, we're gonna go. That's how I've got you here arranged. We're gonna start with Sean. So Sean, tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Hey, I'm Sean, and I'm playing Akin Eodan, quote unquote rage. We don't need to say that mouthful of a name every time. I am playing a Irdani, so I am like the warrior cast. I am big, strong, gray skin, covered in scars, purple mohawk, kind of a little pug face with sharp teeth. Kind of like a Klingon ran face first into a wall.
Nice. Next up, Kaylee. Let's hear about your character and you.
Well, my name's Kaylee. I am currently playing this handsome. Whoop, and my screen went away. There we go. This handsome blue-skinned guy. If everything would stop being blurry, his name is Spaz. He's usually the smartest person in the room, and almost always the smart-assest person in the room. He is a Matrix controller, which is basically super fancy Battlelords way of saying mage. Uh, that's about it. So. Hopefully, we're
Nice.
not going to die in the opening moment of this, and we can learn more about Spaz.
That's true. We left things on a cliffhanger, so it's very possible that they could die in this very first moments, and then the session would be over, and then but so that would which would be really be weird. But Revna, you are next.
Hi, I'm Revna, and I'm playing Aral, the Siserac. She is a tiger, y'all. She's a cat. Fierce warrior cast. She is an officer. She's doing her best to be the best officer she can. She's coming to learn a few things that she's been taught by. She's a matriarchal society, and she's learning that some of the things the matriarchs have told her aren't really true. So we'll see how that affects her in the upcoming rest of the adventure. Rawr.
Interesting. And last but definitely not least, Stevie.
Hey y'all, my name is Stevie. I use he, him, himself pronouns, and I play Chaos, the Orion, the aka Space Elf, and I'm a cool guy with cool shades, and I have spray paint and super glue, and I'm not afraid to use it. Please don't hit me, I am so squishy. But I'm here to party.
Yes, and the shades were very instrumental. That was one of the cooler moments of last week's session was when the shades that were actually being held by a prisoner guard were freed from said prisoner guard's head, and the way Stevie caught them and put them back on, and returned the shades to their rightful owner was pretty damn impressive. I like that. That was a cool part. All right, so let's do a little quick recap here. So our four heroes found themselves. We started the session. You all were in prison, and we didn't really get into too much detail as to the whys that you were in prison, because that really wasn't important, because you had decided that you didn't really want to be in prison anymore, and the prison was being run by a species known as the Fentari, and these were sort of bipedal, four-armed, purplish squid type creatures with very nasty faces and teeth, and they weren't necessarily very nice to you folks, but you didn't let that get in your way of planning your escape. And we began the session with you launching that escape. And from there, you were able to get to an op center, because one of the problems with the escape is you didn't necessarily know how to get out of the prison. You knew if you got enough chaos, and I'm sorry, enough mayhem. I'm going to be doing that a lot, using the word chaos and not referencing the character, so I have to make sure to use mayhem or calamity in this particular case. But
Don't forget
you,
kerfuffle.
And kerfuffle. Or also, I will also accept brouhaha as well. Or for our Canadian friends, Donnybrook, perhaps, might also be another option. But mayhem ensued. The four of you, made it to an ops center where you knew you'd be able to find your way out. There was a brief combat with some guards in there where Chaos did indeed get his shades back. And from there, you performed a dramatic task, which is a Savage Worlds kind of subsystem that allowed you to figure out exactly where you needed to go to get out. From there, you also learned some additional information. One, that there was a city on planet that I believe it was Chaos knew that a friend of his, Kobe, I believe we said the name was. No, Wegu. Wegu was located, oftentimes had gone to the city. So you, hoping that if you get to the city, which is known as Disconsolate Valley, you might be able to find Wegu, get a ship, and get out. However, something kind of got in the way of that. You also discovered that there was a facility not too far from the prison. This facility was being run by some Pythonians, which are, as they sound, sort of snake-like creatures, but they also have legs and arms. And the Pythonians, which are not necessarily really friendly towards the Scissorax, which is Rawl's species, they were actually hiding or using in that facility. They had a number of male Scissorax there for testing and experimentation. And in Scissorak culture, the males are basically meant to remain on planet, in home, and never really to be seen. And this kind of really got Rawl's hackles up that these ones needed to be rescued and returned. So you still needed to escape. You found which way to go. You had two options. One, you could go towards a land vehicle and get out. The other, you could go to a VTOL and get out. You chose the VTOL option. You ran into a Fot pilot friend that you knew by the name of Zumi. Fots are a rabbit-like species. Long ears, long legs, and basically like rabbit people. And you were able to get to the VTOL. You took on the warden and his personal guard and made very quick work of that warden, as we mentioned with me burning through my bennies. The warden, if I want to remember, was blown into several different pieces, scattered about the prison grounds. But you were able to get in the VTOL, you took off, and as you were coming up over the wall, Fot yelled, "Look out!" And the side of the VTOL was impacted by several rockets. And the VTOL made it over the wall, but was heading towards the tree line, spinning and smoking and burning. And there was lots of shouts as Fot desperately, though he was gravely wounded, was trying to save you and give you as soft a landing as possible. And that's actually where we left things off. And so we're going to actually resolve that cliffhanger. But before we do that, one last thing we need to do is, and this is another Savage Worlds thing, we're going to make use of the adventure deck. I'm remembering to hold it in front of my face this time. The adventure deck is a special deck of cards in Savage Worlds that allows you to kind of do cool one-shot things. Sometimes it can really break the game. Sometimes it may not help as much, but we're going to make sure that in this game it does indeed help regardless. So Revno, you have your deck handy, right?
I
Okay.
do.
All right. So we're just going to do one card for the whole group. So just like last time, everybody roll a D8 and let's see what number you get. And that person gets to have the adventure card this time.
6 I have.
6 for
5.
Revna. 5.
6.
I don't want to tell you mine because I got the card last time. Can I pass?
You can pass. All right. So let's have the 2 6s roll off. That's right. Kaylee got the
My-
card last time.
yeah. My 8 is going to pass because that's what I rolled last time.
That is what you rolled last time.
1.
Got a 5.
Got a 5. All right. So it's Chaos is going to get the card. Okay. Chaos, do you want to draw from the top half or the bottom half of the deck?
Ooh, from the middle.
From smack dab in the middle. All right.
Yes.
Revna, go for it. What kind of card we get?
We have, haha, It called Here Comes the Cavalry. Help arrives on the scene from some source determined by the GM. Well done.
Ooh,
Nice.
that is a
Yay.
great card. So yes, you can play that card whenever you like, and we'll determine exactly what that cavalry is when you play it. Okay, so let's figure out what happens. Let's see how bad this crash might be. The the VTOL is smoking, it's spinning, the world around you is swirling. You're getting shots of either the what kind of color sky do we think we have on this backwater world that we're on?
Like a
Orange.
pinky purple.
Like
Yeah,
an
yeah, that
orangish,
works.
pinky,
Orange.
orange. All right. So you're getting flashes of orange along with, and we'll use pinky purple for the foliage of the trees, and everything is beginning to blur as you're going, and you're all kind of collectively either shouting or yelling. And how are you going to get out of this?
Hopefully, at this point, Spaz has not eaten lately, so he's not adding to the confusion by losing his last meal. I'm gonna try. Can I use? I want to try and do a matrix control called Entangle.
Okay.
I don't know how. I can't. I don't think I can stop us, but I'm gonna at least try and use it to like anchor everybody into the ship, so we don't go flinging out everywhere
Ooh.
in case we hit hard.
All right. I like that. I like that idea. Yeah. So let's go ahead. You have a D10, I think, right? In your skill for that.
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
And then the d6 for that wild die. Okay, that is an 8.
8. Not only is that a success, that is a success with a rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's successful. It's entangled. If raised, it's if it's raised, you're bound, which is actually a more intense form of entangle. All right. So, oh, and chat awarded me a GM Benny. Thank you very much, chat. I greatly appreciate that. I'll just
Already,
add
hey.
add that to my pile. By the way, for Bennies, for those of you that don't know, everybody starts. All the players start with 3 unless they have the luck edge. In this case, Chaos has the luck edge, so Chaos starts with 4. I get 1 for every player, so I have 4. But now, because chat was nice, I now have 5. So yay me! All right. Okay, so Spaz, you cast or you work your matrix powers. What does this look like as this entanglement comes up and around your companions here?
Spaz had kind of been belted in between Rage and Rawl, and so isn't getting thrown around quite as much as his bigger companions. And you can see that his eyes again begin to glow, this time with kind of like a reddish orange light. And he like spreads his hands out wide, and there's disturbances in the air flowing out from his fingers that turn into like strands of magnetic energy that weave around everybody and kind of grab everybody and yank them back towards their seats. And just like they're made of metal, and the seat is a magnet. They're just held really tightly. Hang on, everybody, this is gonna suck.
Chaos is busy crying because he has a major phobia of heights, and I gotta say, this is not helping.
No, this is probably just a worst case scenario for Chaos.
Rage has got one hand wrapped into like a handhold and like reaching across either Spaz over to Chaos, and I've just got my hand wrapped in your like the back of your collar, just
And I'm just grabbing onto the arm, just like, ah! Just not having a good time.
And so you're spinning, and you do feel those forces kind of help keep you secured in your chair. And at one time in the spins, Chaos, as you're crying, your glasses start to come off, but we'll say a little tendril, because you got the rays on that Spaz, a little tendril of that magnetic energy just kind of grabs the sunglasses and holds them just above your face and around your eyes. And you're spinning, and suddenly the orange in the sky disappears completely, and you see nothing but the sea of pinky purple, and everything just suddenly stops abruptly and hard, and you are thrown against this force. But because you got the rays on your matrix use, Spaz, you're able to actually keep everybody in there and keep the whiplash to an absolute minimum. And slowly but surely, your senses begin to return, and the room, or the world, stops spinning. and you find yourself the chopper or the VTOL is definitely, it's still a little bit on fire in some spots, but you are now suspended probably about 15 meters off the ground, and you're definitely free of the prison, and you can slowly kind of work your way down to the ground, whether you use the limbs or you jump or however you want to get down.
Everybody okay?
My tail is poofy. I'm poofy. My claws are dug into the thing. And she looks over trying to pretend she's not poofy. I am fine, I think. Yes, it's fine.
Chaos, you gonna be okay?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'll be fine. Trying to totally mask the fact that he was just crying.
Well, Spaz, it seems like your magic worked. How are you?
It's not magic. It's the manipulation of the physical for it and You know what? It doesn't matter. It's magic.
It's magic.
How do we get down from here?
Well, hold on. Get on my back. Hold on, I can jump. I'm pretty sure that Chaos can jump and
make
roll. And I think Rage is big guy. He can hang and drop.
That's a long way down.
I am cat. I always land on feet.
Dude, wait,
Okay.
let me see what's in my equipment.
We have to talk about. I want to do an experiment with you because I've also heard that. You know what? This isn't the time.
You're
Alright,
not
everybody
taking my
ho-
temperature.
No. This has to do with butter, and we'll talk about it later. Everybody, hold on. I'm going to release the bonds. And with like a snap hum, like all the restraints let go. So anybody kind of hanging, unless they grab something, is going to fall. And Spaz kind of grabs onto Rawl. It's like, okay, just go slow.
I am jumping. I only jump at one speed. Pyoom.
Right.
Chaos says, what about Zumi? Zumi?
He is
Okay.
a rabbit.
Good
He is a
question.
rabbit.
Let's
I'll go
find out
check
what
on
happened
him.
to Zumi here. I'm gonna make a little vigor roll for Zumi to see exactly what his situation is.
Oh bless.
Hopefully not splatty.
It is not splatty,
Roasty.
but you release your bonds from your entangle, and you see Zumi. He's there, and the left side of his body was in rough shape to begin with, but the bonds were actually holding up his ears, and the bonds are released, and then the ears just flop straight forward.
No, Zumi. Can I check pulse?
You absolutely can. You can absolutely check pulse. Do you have? Checking pulse is one thing. Do you have healing? Or are you looking to try and do something more extensive?
Let's see. I have some BRs.
Right.
Some BRIs.
BRIs, which stands for a body rejuvenation injection. So you're gonna like maneuver up to where Zumi is to see if you can help.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Rage for some help to like, let's see if we can get this guy kind of, I don't know, get him down from here safely.
Yeah, and I might be able to help. I've got a healing or first aid kit too.
All right, I'm gonna have you make Chaos as you maneuver around in there. I'm gonna have you make a spirit roll, and now your hindrance, your fear of heights. Was there a penalty assigned to that, or?
Yes, I believe so. Let's see. Whenever a character is in the presence of his phobia, he subtracts 1 from all his trait rolls if it's a minor hindrance and 2 if it's major. Mine is a major. So I subtract 2 from all my trait rolls.
Nice. All right. So make that spirit roll at a -2.
Spirit roll and a minus. Is it -2 from the spirit die and the wild die?
It's -2 to whatever your highest die result is.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. I'm gonna go ahead and spend a Benny to re-roll that.
Okay. You didn't get 2 1s though, right?
Got 2 2s.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so I got a 7, so -2 is a 5.
It's a 5. All right. So you get an eyeful of the tremendous distance that's down here, but you're able to just suck it up and move in this lopsided VTOL cabin to get up to where Zumi is. And he's
I just got my hand lightly on his collar, like, you're not going anywhere.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. Oh, it's so far down. Okay, okay. We got this. We just gotta get him down the not very far way. It's fine. This is gonna be fine. And I'm like reaching into my bag and
It's fine. He's fine.
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine. We didn't get shot out of the sky. It's fine. And so I have a BRI that removes a single wound, but
Yes.
not injury table result. Would that do anything, or is it like, are we way past that?
No, it would absolutely probably do something because I mean he is alive but barely. It would probably return him to consciousness, but you can see, that his body he does definitely have injuries on him, and his left arm in particular seems to be particularly mangled. So it will technically remove a wound and wake him up, but yeah, he's still going to have some problems. So yeah, you can use it.
Gotcha. So I'm going to inject it. It's an injection?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to inject it and kind of shake his non-injured side and say, hey, Zumi, hey, buddy. Wake up. Wake up.
It takes a few moments before his head starts to stir and one of his ears starts to twitch a little bit, and then he's like, "Well, did we make it? Oh, I don't feel like I made it."
You made it.
No. Yeah, we made it, and I want to put both my hands over, like, the ear holes so, like, he can't hear, and I'm going to look at Rage and say, how do we get down?
We're gonna have to jump.
I hate that. I hate that. Is that our option?
That's our only option. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna climb up on my back. Keep your eyes shut the entire time. Don't look until I tell you that we get to the ground.
Okay. And I remove my hands from the ears. It's like, so we're going to do a totally awesome plan that's going to have no consequences whatsoever, and we're going to get out of this plane.
Look, I can't take you both at the same time. It's gonna be one at a time.
Rawl's gonna yell up, check and see if there are parachutes. You might be able to use fabric or cord to get people down.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Make me a notice roll then, Cass. In Spaz, are you still in the cabin as well?
No, I used the Kitty Express to take the
that's
quick
right.
way down.
Perfect.
I'm gonna help by looking for stuff
Yes,
too.
by all means.
No, my
Nope.
notice
Yeah.
sucks.
Let's
Meow
see, what's
meow
my
instead of
notice?
choo choo.
That's a D6.
Rawl-
Okay, so I'm still subtracting 2 from mine, because...
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I got a 5, so that's a 3.
No, we can't find.
Here, you know what? I'll even do it for what's his name? For Zumi.
Yeah.
Nope. No, he's in far too much pain. Yeah, you're searching around and nothing, and your fear is kind of getting the better of you, and you're looking, but you're not seeing anything that's going to help you.
Zumi, hang on for a second. I'm gonna get Chaos to the ground and I'll come back for you.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
All right.
It kind of gives you a pause up.
All right, I climb onto Rage's back. The restraints that were used when Spaz cast the Matrix spell, did those like disappear, or are they still hanging around?
They disappeared. They were like magnetic energy, basically.
Ah, dang.
You probably
okay.
there are probably some seat belts you could yank out,
Possibly.
because VTOLs would have seat restraints. This
Definitely
isn't
have.
Star
They
Trek.
definitely. That's true. That's true. There's
Probably cargo netting as well.
Yeah, it's possible. There is. Yeah, there is space OSHA. So they got rid of piano wire seatbelts a couple hundred years ago. So
Sposha.
Sposha. Yeah, Sposha.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, come on, let's go.
Yep, I trust Rage. I hop on Rage's back.
Keep your eyes shut. No, just shut. You gotta hold on.
Oh, right.
All right. Oh, I'm gonna try and get down.
Go ahead and make me an athletics roll, and there are a few like limbs that you can do, so you don't have to do a straight jump.
I'm gonna
So this will
parkour
be
my way down.
yeah, parkour.
Parkour, parkour.
Parkour.
Oh my god, did you roll 2 1s, Sean?
2 1s.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, so just notes here. All right.
So before this game session started, Chris goes, "Oh, and remember, don't roll 2 1s because that's a critical failure. Please let me know if that happens." And we're like, "That's not gonna." Oh boy.
It's not going to happen. Oh no, it happened. Yeah, you can't use bennies on critical fun years. So, all right. So you start going down, and you do see some limbs that look like they probably will work for you. So you are grabbing parts of the VTOL to get yourself in position, and you put your feet on this initial limb, and you let go enough of the VTOL so that your weight suddenly rests on this, and you realize that the limbs of these trees that you're on are completely hollow inside because it just cracks immediately, and you start to drop. Chaos, you, because of your fear, you just sort of like explode out and desperately grab for something, and now you are able to grab another limb as you're falling, but you're hanging on above at least about 10 meters in the air. Rage, you start to fall, and I'm going to say, because you got the critical failure, you're falling, and you have one of those split-second choices as you're going down. You do see a limb where you can try and grab that might be able, if you can grab it and get a hold of it, it'll break your fall. But because of the way that you fell, your plasma sword has come loose from your body, and it is also falling. And this, of course, is very important to the Irdani. They can never really be seen without their sword.
Yep.
So I'm going to have you make an athletics roll. First, I'm not going to ask you which way you're going to go here. I'm going to have you make an athletics roll. If you get a raise on this roll, I'll allow you to do both things. But if you only get a success, you have to grab one or the other.
I rolled a 2 and a 1, so I'm going to spend a penny.
You definitely want to spend a penny.
And we're finding different dice to roll.
Dice jail, dice jail.
Sean, you might want to consider a conviction point.
So I got a 5 and a 1, so I got 1 success.
You got 1 success, so you can grab one or the other, and I'm going to let you make that decision.
It's the sword. It's got to be the sword.
It's got to be the sword. All right. So
Reach out.
definite safety in life passes you by as you sort of stretch and reach, and you grab the sword, and you are going to fall.
Yep.
And I am going to have to apply a little bit of damage to you.
That's fine.
I have to find my dice here. Yeah, I didn't expect this exactly to happen this way, but things happen. All right. So what is your current toughness?
So I'm.
Or what is your base toughness? I should ask you.
Right, base toughness is 6.
Is 6. All right, and if I remember right, your armor was basically. I mean, you still have your armor, but the absorption stuff was all taken out. Correct.
Right. So I just have 1 point of armor, so that puts me at a 7.
But what's your regular armor bonus?
Regular armor bonus is 4.
Is 4. Okay.
And I've already blown through my 3
your 3
absorptions.
absorption. Okay. All right. So I'm just doing some math here in my head. All right. So actually, my damage roll wasn't that bad. So you grab your sword and you try and roll with it when you land, basically as best as you can, but you do hit hard. And you don't suffer any wounds or anything, but I am going to give you a level of fatigue from bumps and bruises, which is something that will go away in about a day or so. But right now you have a level of fatigue, which is going to be a -1 moving forward.
Not
until that
cats.
fatigue goes away.
So I'm
Usually
gonna
not
hit the
cats.
ground,
Definitely
roll,
not cats.
kind of stop like right against Raw's front feet. I'm gonna look up at her and go, "That wasn't as easy as it looked."
Don't worry,
Are
I get
you
chaos.
okay?
I will get chaos. Is there
Yeah.
branch? Is there branch below chaos that I can
Uh,
get onto?
No, there is so chaos in your situation, it is a straight drop down.
Excellent.
And the now with you grabbing onto this limb, the tree with the weight of the VTOL on it begins to shake and sway a little bit. And it is a straight drop down. So I'm going to have you make a spirit roll right now with your -2 to see where your general panic level is.
Yep. Do I
Through the
do
roof.
just the D8 or D8 and the wild die?
Yeah, definitely do the wild eye.
All right. Oh, okay. So I got an 8, so that explodes, right?
Cool. Yep. Roll it. And
Okay. 8 plus 4 is 12. Minus 2 is 10.
And all right, so that's with the raise. All right, so you actually not only have you've gotten control of your fear after this initial horrible thing that's happened to you, you have enough clarity to act. And so we've got this swaying tree, and it looks like the VTOL itself is starting to come loose from where it is what was holding it. But you can, however you want to get out of this situation, you have the clarity to do so. And yeah, you look below and you do see Rawl standing kind of at the base of the tree, and looks like she's trying to decide how or if she's going to go up.
I
Let's
can
see.
parkour up to you.
How far is the tree like leaning?
We'll say it's starting to gain some angle. So maybe what? I love geometry, but I never did very good at it. So maybe it's about like 30 degrees, but it's starting to grow.
Gotcha.
Or that would be 120 if it's swaying this way, because it started at 90, so it'd be at 120.
120. Yeah, I think Chaos is going to look to see if Ral's going to do something, but otherwise his plan is just to hang on until he gets to the lowest possible point without the tree breaking, and then saying a quick prayer to the cool gods, whatever cool gods are out there, and let go.
Nice. Okay, Rawl, did you want to try and do something to help, or were you going to just kind of wait and see?
I'm trying to parkour up and like grab him in midair, knowing that I can, or like get it to where he can either get on my back or grab me, so that we can land safely on that padded thing. Is that going to be
Okay.
athletics?
Yes, definitely athletics.
Athletics. Gotta get a D8 for that. Excellent. Okay. 7.
7. All right, yeah. So you can scramble up the tree without any problem, and it is continuing to go. And you're kind of waiting for your moment, Chaos, and you see Rawl approaching, and it looks like she might be positioning herself to maybe jump and grab and try and either ricochet off a couple other trees. But you're going to have to make an athletics roll, because the VTOL now has come loose and is starting to fall in your in your
No.
way, in your path.
Oh no, and also
but
Zumi.
because you got the raise, you do not have the -2 at this moment.
Oh, okay, cool. I can do this. This will be fine. Athletics is a D8. That's not bad. Okay, that's a 7.
It's a 7. All right. So and go ahead and just let's actually make this kind of cool. So Rawl, go ahead and give me another athletics roll, as Chaos is trying to essentially swing himself over in your direction for you to catch.
Oh, nice. I have an 8 that explodes. 8 and 6 is 14.
14. Okay. So, do you guys want to describe this, or you want me to describe it?
So Rawl is he's getting himself in position. I'm going to time it so that when he does, he's going to land back between my shoulder blades and my gun, so he can hold on to the gun, and then spring off the side of the VTOL and hit the ground safely and gently.
Nice. And that, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
As soon as Chaos gets within range of Rawl, going to immediately wrap arms and legs, bury the face in the rough of Rawl's neck, and just go like, no, like still having a bad day. This is Chaos's no good, very bad day.
You're down.
Yeah,
Now
and
to
you
try and get Zumi.
You hit the ground, you land just a moment before the VTOL breaks free of the limbs that had it, and it comes hard down and smashes into the ground. And we're gonna give this. We'll see if this. If
Hey,
it.
Chris,
Yes.
can I try? Can I try and use a Matrix controller move to try and catch it so Zumi doesn't go splat?
Ooh, do you want to like use like the entangle again, or what were you thinking?
I have a deflection shield, so what I'm hoping to do is. Oh wait, I can't do that. I'm gonna have to use entangle because deflection only works on me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and use entangle to kind of just, if not catch it, but slow it. So maybe it just bangs up a lot instead of just crushes the poor bunny.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Make that roll.
Okay.
Zumi's
That is-
hair-raising adventure.
Damn it! I've been saving that pun for like 30 minutes now.
Sorry.
That is a 15. So I had an exploding D10.
Nice. Okay, so the VTOL is in free fall. You do your thing. What does it look like as you successfully stop this thing from crashing into the ground and exploding?
With like 2 raises. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the thing starts coming down, and like it's actually coming down kind of near Spaz and Rage. And Spaz just looks up and goes, "Oh shit!" And just like throws their hands up the way he did in the VTOL. And you can see especially in this light where everything's kind of pink and purple, there's just these bands of force that like stretch out in kind of like a crisscross pattern, and the VTOL hits it and it kind of like bounces off of it. They shatter. He moves his hands again, and then another one shatters, and it basically like gets closer and closer and closer until the final one holds like about a meter above Spaz's outstretched hands. Okay, could somebody please get him out of there so I don't have to hold this all night? It really hurts.
I will jump up in and get him out.
Zumi looks at you. Was that part of the plan? That was a really bad plan.
Yes. No, it wasn't. We are caught, but I have to get you out now before it finishes the crash, crash, boom, boom. So
Okay.
let's go. Let me get
All right.
you. Here, on my back. I know you're bleeding. It is fine. Get on back. I jump gently.
My left arm's a wet noodle right now. Hold on. Okay, he tries to. He like uses his ears to kind of wrap around the gun as he grabs part of you. This really hurts to do this to my ears. We're not supposed to do this.
I know. We'll get you down. And kind of hop down gently as I can. Taking most of the weight on my front legs to absorb the blow. So that way he doesn't get...
Nice. So you freed Zumi, and then I'm assuming, Spaz, you're going to let the VTOL down the rest of the way just as gently as possible.
Yeah, Spaz kind of scurries out of the way of the LZ and just kind of cuts it and lets the thing just drop the final meter to the ground. And then Spaz also drops to the ground, kind of sitting on their ass, just going, okay, I am very tired. I'd like to not have any more hair-raising adventures for at least 5 minutes till I can catch my breath.
I'll give you a Benny for the hair-raising adventures. That's good.
I was saving it, so.
All right, so the 5 of you collect yourselves from the smoking and burning wreckage of this VTOL and head further away from the prison into the woods and away from the crash site. Well done.
As they're walking away, you just hear Rage go, "Well, that could have went better."
It certainly couldn't have gone worse.
Yes, it could. We could all be dead.
We could still be in it.
Right.
And on fire.
You know what?
It can always be worse.
I 100% should not ask you guys how it should be worse.
We will tell you.
Just a thing. Yeah, exactly. You will definitely tell me. Chris, I have a question for the GM. How do PowerPoints regenerate?
You usually get them back, I think, at about 5 per hour, or you can spend a Benny and get 5 back immediately.
Okay, cool.
So you will be fine PowerPoint wise with what we're doing next.
Okay.
Yeah, as we kind of fade out from this scene, Zumi leans in to Rawl because he's probably still riding on Rawl's back, and says, "So I probably shouldn't tell them that I'm not actually a pilot."
What? You told me you were a pilot.
And then we just kind of fade to no, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, and this is another Savage Worlds kind of rule subsystem. This is what we're gonna do. What are called interludes. And interludes are a thing that you do kind of in between the actions. Sometimes you can do them in between sessions. But basically what they are is it's a player-driven scene, so to speak, that is the tone of it is dictated by the card that is drawn. And it usually covers a number of different categories. Actually, yeah, that's right. Thank you for the reminder. Let me finish this, and we'll get to that. Thank you. I almost forgot about that, Raul. Sorry, that's a little private message there that I'm reacting to. In case you're wondering, like, what the heck is that guy doing? Why is he just stopping and pretending he's talking to someone else? But anyway, so interludes, and they usually cover a. There's usually 3 different options. It could be downtime for the character, it could be a bit of backstory, or in the case of what we're going to do, that's going to involve trek or an overland journey. So before we draw this, actually, yeah, as you are, as you've been walking for a little bit, Raul, there is something that you absolutely wanted to say.
We get to a spot where we kind of are taking a breather, assessing what's going on. Raul kind of looks at all of them and, I am taken a little aback. My companions. We see
Wait, you want us to take you back?
Have a sweetie. Chew this. It's bubble gum. It'll keep your mouth occupied 1 minute.
That's true.
We see Sarek are very matriarchal. I think I kind of told you that in the facility, but I was always taught that the males were weak. That is what the women always told us, all the matriarchs. That's what they say. If not from my father, he was a good man. He would bring me sweets, occasional dead rat, a little catnip. But only ever through the fence. He was never allowed to play with me or teach me to hunt. But I knew from him that what they said about the men could not always be true. And here you all are. I made decision to come rescue males, and you all came without question. You came with me. And none of you are weak. You are all strong. And you're very brave. And you are my pride. Now, you are my family. I will look out for you. I will bleed for you. I will protect you. I will kill for you. I feel responsible for this crash because if I had not come, you all would not be here. And yet none of you have complained. None of you have said anything. You'll just keep pressing on. And she'll walk over and headbutt each one of them. And since big cats don't purr, she will chuff at you. As she headbutts. You are my brothers.
Chaos is like, sniffles a little bit, but goes, yeah, it's no problem.
We will,
Yeah, no big
we will
deal.
get-
Yeah.
You are very brave, Chaos. Very brave. I can
Rage,
smell your fear.
when you
Yet you
headbutt
are
Rage,
so brave.
You do
Brave,
the head-
Rage, you are awesome. But you are
What?
not bouncy.
I'm not bouncy, but I will do whatever it is to get those cubs back for you.
Thank you, my brother. And you, well, keep chewing your gum. You need to regain your energy.
I just wanted to say.
Don't swallow it.
Wanted to say,
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be farting bubbles.
whatever. Look, I just wanted to say that was incredibly touching, and like, I've not like had a family in like a long time because, well, anyway, that's a long story, and it's like, I mean, apart from the random mouthfuls of fur, you've been very kind to me, and of course I'm going to help you. So we're going to do this, and we're going to get everybody off this planet, and yes, go team, awesome force.
Lick right up the face.
Well, thank you.
Welcome. No, we should probably go and try to find some place to get supplies, to replenish your armor. Rage, your armor is double fucked. Faz, your armor is fucked. And Chaos, your armor is not so good. We need to get you all patched up and get you ready to fight.
All right, and as you begin and you set out, we'll engage the interludes here. And one thing that you have learned, even in before we do this, as you've been traveling, is that though this is you're definitely on a backwater world of some sort, you know that it's not just like the prison facility that's on here and the testing facility that's on here. There's a number of small little either civilizations or outposts or things like that that you may encounter along the way. So feel free to kind of work that into your interludes. And so we'll go in a reverse order. And so we'll actually start with chaos first. So I'm going to draw what we're going to do here is, and this is all under the track. And let me just move my rules over here. And so I'm going to draw a suit or draw a card, and that suit is going to dictate the tone of your interlude. So chaos for you, you get a club. And clubs in treks are a hardship the party overcame on their trip, whether it was a tragic death of a favorite extra, spoiled or lost supplies, a mechanical breakdown, abysmal weather, and so on. So it's whatever you feel, and this doesn't have to be a long 5-minute soliloquy. It can just be either a brief description or a little bit of RP, however you feel it best suits you. You're the one that's driving the story right now.
Let's see. I think the weather is absolutely abysmal, like a storm comes up upon us. So we're trying to find a place to hunker down or seek shelter. And it is while we are in a cave or an overlook, something that is like blocking some of the rain off of us, Zumi's having a bit of a hard time.
With his injuries, they're just not quite. He's not quite doing too well
with his injuries.
Okay.
And I know, but I gotta. Chaos is going to nudge Zumi, seeing Zumi kind of like nodding off a little bit, like, "Hey, stay with us now. Stay with us."
Yeah, I'm trying.
I mean, why'd you try to escape with us anyway? Why go on this little journey with us, Zumi?
Yeah. Look, I may not be much of a pilot, but I can always spot a group of winners, and I knew that you all were gonna be getting out. So I'm gonna back a winning horse,
Yeah. Well, you got us out of there, so you're one of the winners too. Do you want to wear my shades for a minute?
Oh, yeah, you do that?
Yeah, man, I do that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, and he slides them on and his left arm, by the way, looks just bad. I mean, it was a spaghetti noodle to begin with, and it just has not gotten any better. He puts them on, and do I look like badass bunny?
You look like a real badass bunny.
Yeah.
And I want to grip his right hand tightly in mine.
Yeah, he squeezes it. And unless you kill him, he'll just sit there and hold your hand during the storm. Remember, you're driving this, so
I know.
If Zumi's gonna zoom off to the great unknown, that it can happen.
He's headed towards the great carrot patch in the sky.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Chaos is going to try and like see if anyone else has any medical knowledge that can help save Zumi, but I think it's it's kind of advanced beyond us at this point.
Yeah,
And
the even you could inject him with all the BRIs you have, but his bad arm, it's not going to heal the shattered bones in his arm, and um the the infection that is definitely setting in from that.
yeah, I think Chaos is gonna look at Rawl, since Rawl knew Zumi before.
I think we should be honest with him and let him decide. If he wants us to end it, then we will end it. I don't want to do it behind his back. There is no honor in that. And I guess they give
Zumi,
him the prognosis.
yeah.
Zumi, he kind of drops his shades down a little bit. So how's it looking? It doesn't feel too good. How's it looking?
It's not looking too good either.
Yeah.
You have infection, and we have nothing to treat it.
Right. Okay. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll make this easy on you guys. I know that you got a mission. I got out. I guess that's what I wanted. Just, you know what? Just leave me here. This is comfortable enough. This is comfortable enough.
Okay.
And he points up, and we can well, he points up, and he at the cave wall, and he says, besides, I got that face kind of looking back at me, so I'll be all right. I won't be alone. And you look over to where he was pointing, and the shadows of the campfire that you have in this cave actually do kind of make a face of sorts. And strangely, to all four of you, like, the face looks kind of familiar. You can't place it, like, you just run it through your mind, like, gosh, that actually, looks familiar, but you can't place it. Whether it's, the Virgin Mary on a piece of toast, or, grilled cheeses. It's there's a face there, but you can't put your finger on where it is.
Does Zumi offer my glasses back, or does Zumi seem like he's gonna hold
No,
on
no,
to them?
he does give you your glasses back. No, these are
Okay.
yours. You got to take them with you.
Thanks,
And
man. You're a real one.
yeah, yeah. And I take it you leave Zumi behind. That was tough. That was tough. Okay, nice. All right. Next up is going to be Rawl. Rawl, your interlude, you also get a club. So again, another hardship that you must overcome on your trip. There's no more extras to die, but there's all kinds of other bad things that could happen, whether it's weather, bad supplies, maybe you find a transport but it breaks down. It's kind of up to you.
Well, we leave the cave and we leave our friend behind. A brave bunny rabbit. Hassenpfeffer. Zumi Hassenpfeffer. And we are talking about him as the storm increases. And I am soaking wet and not happy. I look like drowned rat rather than proud cat. And we see a nice vehicle parked down below. Is answer to our prayers. We are going to get to, off in the distance we can see village, settlement in the way, but it is too far to walk in storm. We are going to take this. We get inside, get ready to start it, and it catches fire.
Oh, jeez.
And we just get out. I have a little singed on one side, but all in all, it is not too bad. We will have to press on foot. The pads of my feet are getting raw. Raw, not raw. And food supplies are running low. But we soldier on as a pride. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. No, that's great. That's great. Um, each of you individually, as you're trudging your way through this downpour and the muck is pooling up over your feet as you go, you know, you're trying to internally pep talk yourself as you're walking in silence, and there's this voice that comes into each of your heads, and it's a little bit lower in tone, but it does say to you, you know, encouraging words over and over. You're not really even sure where this voice comes from, because it's not like your own internal monologue voice. It's almost like this extra voice that's there, but it's encouraging you to keep going and keep going, because you know you're going to make it. You're going to make it. All right. Spaz, you are next. My goodness, I'm sorry, you guys. Spaz, you also get a club. I feel like I'm clubbing
Oh,
all of you
Lord.
players.
Did you
Um,
shuffle those? Did
I
you
did.
shuffle those,
I
Husk?
100% shuffled them, so I don't know what the hell happened. Apparently, I'm just. This is the only way, I guess. Maybe I can cause you guys, you know, damage. It's more emotional damage more than anything else. But you also get a club, Spaz. So what's the next phase of this as you're making your way?
I think, yeah, so this storm is getting worse and worse. The lightning is incessant. The rain is coming down in sheets. And, you know, everybody's kind of disheartened because, well, we found like a vehicle and it caught on fire. And we came near the settlement and we found like this cabin in the woods, kind of flocking to it. There's a single like almost a firelight inside, and banging on the door. We were just hoping that somebody would be there to help us. And it turns out that there was somebody there to help us. There was this older human gentleman just who let us in and just was like so kind. Gave us some food, just was wonderful. We were able to, you know, get Rawl off her paws, start to dry off, and then there's the sound that everybody kind of perks up and listens to. It's the sound of like a rushing oncoming train, and the wind is picking up, and you start hearing banging on the ceiling as Spaz kind of runs over to the window, and there's a lightning strike that illuminates a funnel cloud touching down nearby and coming right at the building that they're in. With a scream of surprise and dismay, Spaz informs everybody, there's a tornado coming this way. We gotta do something. We gotta get out of here. And the human actually like opens a trapdoor and pulls everybody down under the ground. We shut the thing, and you can hear the rending of wood and the snapping of timber as the storm rushes by overhead. The trapdoor is like flapping against the bolt, holding it shut as the suction tries to pull it open and pull the entire group. And then, like a few seconds later, it just goes deadly silent, with the exception of hearing a little more rain coming. And then even that rain falls quiet. When the group finally opens the trapdoor, the entire cabin is gone. Any trace of it has been scoured clean of the earth. There's just random timber hanging in trees. There's, you know, pieces strewn everywhere. But the food, the fire, the hearth that they had gotten their hopes up on has been completely destroyed. And they're left with this human that they have to tag along and bring along with them, because now he has no home.
Nice, nice. And you, as you pick through the last bits of the wreckage, I will say, Spaz, since this was your interlude, you find this. You pick up what looks to be like an old school picture frame with a picture in it, and there's in the image there's this man, this human that you found, and standing next to him is another and they kind of arm in arm, and you hand it to him, and he says, "Oh, thank you. I, I, I appreciate that. That's and as you look at it, Spaz, the the person in the photo that's not him, um, bears a weird resemblance to the shadowed face that was on the cave wall when you left Zumi behind. But
Hmm.
he takes the photo from you, and he says, "I guess if there was anything that I would want to have with me, if I had nothing, it would be this. Yeah, I appreciate that." And he tucks it into his merce, um, and as you
I'm really sorry about your house.
oh, I appreciate that. It's that's part of the reason why I had the storm shelter. We do get storms from time to time. This one was particularly bad.
Yeah, it's like
Particularly
it's been
bad.
going on for 3 days. It's crazy. We're gonna come on. We're gonna help you. There's I saw a town down the road. We can probably take you there and get you some shelter.
Yes, that does seem like the best option. I have friends there as well, so yes, let us go. Which
At
brings
least the
us.
rain's
Oh,
finally letting up.
we certainly hope so. I mean, I would hate to draw another club. That would be awful.
At least I have cannon
Hint,
fodder, though.
hint,
That's true.
hint, Chris. That's true. We do have
Yeah,
somebody
that's true.
who is now beloved.
Yay! Sean's got somebody he can kill. All right. Um,
Or a
So-
snack.
or snack. That's true. Yeah, that's right. Or to make sure that his plasma sword works. So Rage, yes, you are last, and this actually, with the storm clouds clearing, this and the mentioned town up ahead, this seems very appropriate. You get a diamond. And
Nice.
diamond on Trek is how the group found something that helped them along the way, such as an
Very
oasis,
cool.
minor treasure, ammo, food, friendly locals, etc. So how does this, as this last interlude, what does this look like as you arrive at this settlement?
So as like dawn starts to break, you see the most beraggled, ragtag group of individuals walking up on this town. Rawl is just like half of her normal size because the fur is just plastered down. We get to town, and fortunately, the man that shared his home with us does know people there. We get shelter for the night. As the next day dawns, we find out that there is a mechanic that is really good at repairing things, armor for one. However, he is asking for quite a bit of credit to do it, which we are just strapped for. So there's a local bar, and they have a patron there that is like has never been beaten. You come into the bar, if you can beat the guy, you get like 1,000 credits. I mean, this guy has never been beaten. So Rage takes on the challenge. As the rest of you wait outside, you hear huge scuffles, you hear shouting, banging, crashing, and the next thing you know, Rage comes flying through this window, just lands at your feet, glass everywhere. Take a deep sigh, and I just hold my hand up, and there is the sack full of credits so that we can get our armor repaired.
Nice.
I don't want to do
That's-
this again. That was the hardest fight ever, and those people in there did not appreciate their champion getting beaten. That's how I got thrown out the window. Get our stuff fixed and get out of here.
Excellent. Excellent.
I hope I didn't take too much leeway with that, but I figured that was
No,
the best
no.
way to get armor repaired.
Actually, I was going to be a benevolent GM and let you fix your armor, but you like worked that into the story yourself, so I don't need to do that. So that's perfect. But the only thing I will add is the armor absolutely takes your money. He does take the time to fix all of your suits, so your armor's all back to normal. You're all good there. As you are making your way out, because yes, the locals aren't necessarily very happy, and the four of you are making tracks out of town, and you even probably were able to secure some second-rate mounts to help speed up your journey. One thing that does kind of stick out, and it just makes it it feels weird, but because you're in a rush, you don't have the time to really devote the mental energy to it. Each one of you picks out an individual in the crowds that are coming around, and there's that face again. It again bears a striking resemblance to the shadowed face that you saw in the cave, and the image that you handed to the man in the cabin that gave you respite from the storm. And it just kind of, it's one of those things where it makes your head cock to the side slightly, but you don't have the time to really discuss it as the four of you ride out of town, fully armed and armored and on your way. And it takes you a little while, of course, to get back on track and back on the trail towards the facility. And by the way, I realized in the last session I didn't give you the name of the facility that you're heading to, this testing facility. It's known as the Linkserat. But we'll say even the armor kind of gave you a little bit better directions. And you ride towards there, and it takes you in through another forest, and you start going up some steeper hills, maybe even some bluffs as you make your way there. But you're traveling through, and you get to a point where you realize, like, you're going to be at the top of this particular high hill or this bluff, and you dismount and you walk up through the trees, through the brush, keeping a low profile, and peek over the edge, and down below you see the facility that you have been traveling towards. By the way, first of all, for your excellent interlude work, please everybody give yourself a Benny. That was really well done. Really well done. I really liked it a lot. So yeah, take those Bennies. But you're looking over the cliffside, and you see the facility, and it looks like you've all been around. You've seen facilities like this before. It's got the double fence set up. There's a large central building. There may be a path that leads up through a single gate. There's a few other sub buildings sort of behind the central building. One you can definitely tell appears to be a motor pool of some sort. One looks like it might be involved in communications. There's a few dishes on top. Maybe the other one is probably deals with power distribution, or some other supplies might also possibly in there. And you can see some guards obviously at the gate. Looks like there's a few guards walking around inside. It does appear, as you look closer, all the guards appear to be of the Pythonian species, the snake-like bipedal creatures that they are. So what are you gonna do?
So as we're
I'm
as we're
wondering.
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, as we're surveying the complex, do we see any like wall-mounted weapons? Are there any launchers or anything like that?
It looks like there might be maybe one or two hard points on top of the central building pointing towards the main gate, or at least they're on a turret where they could swivel to get a wider range of fire.
Okay.
I'm wondering if we can get Spaz close enough to suck power out of Generator's power substation.
It
We take
depends
power
on what
away.
they're using for power. If they're using solar power, then I'd have to be standing on the sun. That really doesn't work very well. I have to be touching it, so it depends on what they're doing. I appreciate the idea.
Okay, but if you
they have
can't suck
generators,
it out,
that'll work.
if you can't suck it out, you can blow it up, right?
Oh, I can blow things up from range. Yeah, that's not a problem. The problem is all the people down there with guns that outnumber us. I was thinking we try something like stealthy, like maybe there's some sort of sewer entrance or like an underground, maybe there's an escape tunnel that never had been boarded up before, but I think a sewer entrance is probably more likely because they have to have something to do with, all the, effluvia.
You want me to crawl through sewer? You want shit stuck in my fur?
You do know she has to lick that off.
Yes, right?
We have this technology called a shower. we can make this happen.
Question.
Yeah.
The snake race, what were they called again?
Pythonians.
Pythonians. How flirtatious would you say the Pythonians are?
I think it depends on your particular species. In your case, being an Orion, correct?
Correct.
I don't think I'd have to. There's an actually in Battlelords. Quick rules aside, there's an actual like comparison chart. But we'll say for purposes of where I think you're going with this, um, I possibly.
Okay.
So,
So,
just imagine the GIF. So you're telling me there's a chance. In other words, that's
mhm. So I can try and get some intel and maybe be able to steal like some key cards or access or something from somebody. If we can find a back gate and like a like if there's another entrance besides the main one that would have maybe a little less guards, I can try and like do a little something something and maybe get some access.
You know, we could also just try maybe hijacking some supplies that are coming in and sneak in via that way through a loading dock.
Ooh, that's a good idea too.
Keep in mind there are snakes. They smell, their sense of smell will be sensitive like mine. They will smell me. Trust me. We do not
And
like each other. We need to be stealthy. I am very, very stealthy if we come up with stealthy plan. I am very sneaky. And I would love nothing more than snake kebabs.
Chris, is there? Do we see anything like a ditch or a culvert or something like a manhole cover? Any sign of underground access?
I would say if you wanted to spend a Benny, you can absolutely see something of that nature.
Benny
All
spent.
right. Yes, you can. It's off to one of the sides. We'll say. So it would definitely take some stealth to get there, but it looks like that might be an option.
Okay. Okay, yeah, let's because hopefully the sewer would mask some of the scent, right? Because it would not be great, but
Precisely.
I guess that's the silver lining.
I mean, we could totally carry Ral. Like, she could put a paw, like 2 paws on Rage's shoulders, and then 2 paws on Chaos's shoulders,
I would
and we could
crush
just
him.
kind of. Well, I'll hold you up in the middle, and we'll just kind of walk through as a unit. That way, your paws don't get all stinky.
I will be fine. I would just have to remember to rub it off on Pythonian. Because if I
Well,
fall off somebody's shoulders, you are going to be Spaz the Flat. Actually, we'll change your name to Splat.
yeah, because I have a lockpick set, so if there's a lock on that thing, I can
I don't think Ral has any locks on her. That seems like completely like a silly thing to suggest.
no for the sewer for the doors.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was confused because we were talking about her falling on me and I would be getting crushed. But she, of course, tends to forget that I did lift a VTOL for a little while. So her weight, she is not chunky at all. She's just very muscular.
It's very kind of you.
I appreciate the opportunity of not getting squished.
I'd rather save
I
my
would like for
strength
it
for the
not to
fight.
happen.
Yep. All right, and worst comes to worst, if someone ends up finding us, let me do some of the talking, and we might be able to get out of it.
Okay, we need a code word if you think it's going badly.
How about the screams of agony that he might face when they realize we're here for a kerfuffle?
Well,
Let's hope there's one before that.
The idea is we want a code word to like a precursor to the bedlam.
How about oh shit, oh shit?
Well, it's not very subtle, is it?
What about
Yeah, I
oh
think
no?
we're going for
What if
subtle here.
we could say Zoomy.
That's not bad.
That's
I
not
mean,
bad, yeah.
For a
It's a-
space safe word, a space word, so to speak.
Space
Well,
word.
no.
It's a little soon. But
Fair, fair. Um. Then how about pickle?
that works.
That works.
All right.
Pickle. Cool.
All right.
I will be interested to see how you work pickle into sentence so we know things are going poorly.
Oh shit! I'm in a pickle.
And I don't mean that as mockery. I really wish to see how. Yeah, see, Rage, you and I would just work it into the sentence. Chaos is a little more of a maestro with the words.
Oh, trust me, there's a lot I can do with pickle.
I will take you at your word. Please tell me he is talking about the vegetable.
He
I
probably certainly is talking about the vegetable. I mean, I'm the one who worked as a dancer for a year, so those stories I probably can't tell right now, but I'm sure Chaos is fine.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So I wanna use my lockpicks on if there's a lock on this
On that
drain
sewer
door.
All right. So you start down from the cliff to kind of work your way around towards towards the sewer grate, and then something happens, and I need everybody to make me a spirit check at a -4.
A what?
A spirit check at a
Oh,
-4.
spirit check?
Yeah.
Oh no.
This is at a -4.
Excellent.
So, does my fatigue still count now?
Your fatigue actually has worn off by this
Okay.
point in time.
So,
Ooh.
what is my spirit? Spirit's 8.
4.
Well,
Okay.
A 2.
Because it won't, with the minus, it won't then explode, will it?
Well, no, yeah, no, you can still explode.
Oh, okay, hold on then.
So absolutely.
So with the -4, a 2.
2,
8,
With a -4, I got a 5.
a 5.
10
Okay.
then.
10, 5,
with
10.
minus, yeah.
Kaylee?
with a -4, I have either a -3 or a 0.
Okay.
And although the rules would allow me to spend a Betty to re-roll that, this is, yeah, I'm going to keep this because I have a hindrance that's going to come into play here, and I think this is about time.
Oh, nice. All right. So I need Rage and Spaz to mark down the fact that you failed the spirit check.
Okay.
And then the other two, if you want to mark down that you succeeded, and whether you succeeded or succeed with a raise, it's not going to matter. But I'll when it becomes relevant, I will let you know. But here's what happens. So, like I said, you started down the cliffside, and you were going to work your way down through the brush towards the sewer grate. And as you're going, each of you individually starts to feel a little nauseous at first, and then get a little bit dizzy, and maybe Chaos, your fear of heights kind of comes in a little bit, even though you're still on the ground. But you're doing your best to try and steady yourselves in grabbing a random bush or shrub or something. But as you continue to make your way down, your vision, it doesn't so much blur as it almost starts to pixelate in a certain way and starts to shake and vibrate, and it becomes almost very disruptive. And whether you keep moving or freeze and try and grab something to secure yourselves, you start hearing things in your head as your vision gets worse and worse, and you swear you could hear words failing. It's subroutine, no, recalibrate, Dr. Kobe. And then there is a burst of static that just erupts inside your head, and your pixelating, glitching almost vision suddenly becomes a flash of white. And that's where we're going to take a break for the moment, and we'll find out what happens to our heroes when we come back. I believe, John, we're taking is this a tenor? We're going to do a tight 10, John? Is that what we're doing? It'll be a 10-minute break, so please bio yourself and whatever that means, and come back in 10 minutes, and we'll figure out what exactly happened to our crew. All right, we're back. Everything's been fine. Welcome back. Everything's going well. Our players haven't
Didn't
had
miss
to.
anything.
Yeah, you didn't really miss anything. They're fine. They haven't had any emotional trauma. They haven't left, NPCs in caves, to die. They haven't had another NPC's house get completely destroyed, and everything that he owned. Haven't angered local townsfolk. It's all good. Everything's good.
Haven't fallen down trees that we shouldn't have.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, no, everything's been fine. No, we have you have found the Linkserat facility, and you had hatched a plan to break into the facility through a sewer grate with a well-spent Benny that allowed such a thing to show up. But then weird things started happening physically, bad feelings and sensations, and dizzy and pixelating vision, and then you were hearing words in your ears, and then static, and then suddenly a flash of white. And as the flash of white begins to fade and your vision begins to return, and you're able to start to see things again, you find yourselves not on the cliffside where you had remembered that you were. You find yourselves inside a room. It's a large room. There's a number of like beds in this room, not beds in the traditional sleeping sense, almost like medical beds. There's monitors with making all manner of sort of low key beeping noises. We have the Monty Python machine that goes ping is going off somewhere in the background. There's various tubes and whatnot coming here and there. And as you're looking around and taking this all in, the two things that finally catch your eyes is on the floor of this room that you're in. There are numerous bodies, none of which appear to be living. All of them appear to be Pythonians. Some are in lab coats. They have grievous sword wounds, probably from a plasma sword. Some have had limbs blown off. Some definitely appear to be security, but they are now dead. Some have had their entire face perhaps raked off. Rawl, you look at your paws, and your armored claws are filled with gore on them. And you're just standing there absorbing this. And then the other thing that catches your attention, over against one wall is a large block of what could best be described as coffin hotel style cages of sorts, long narrow things, and inside each one you see a male Scissorak just lying there, rather wide-eyed at what they're staring at. And Spaz, you failed your spirit check, and you have a hindrance which kind of is not necessarily good to that sort of thing.
No, as everybody's looking around and taking all of this in, one of the final things you see is Spaz is like curled up in the fetal position on the ground, eyes wide open, like almost twice as wide as you. They're bugging out from his head, and he's just like clutching at his head, shaking, just making that noise over and over again, mewing in this like freaked out panic, just literally spazzing out.
Nice. What are the rest of you
Rawl
doing?
Rawl will go over to Spaz and start grooming the top of his head, as cats do, to try and comfort you, licking the top of his head and headbutting him. And of course, tigers don't purr, they chuff. So she will have that low sound in her throat as she stays very, very close to him, while letting her eyes kind of focus around and see what's going on. Hopefully the male Siserac will also respond to that tone of comfort and put him at ease. But right now she's just trying to get a measure of what, and I cannot stress this enough, the fuck is going on.
What happened? I don't remember getting here.
Neither do I, and I don't remember doing this.
I mean, it's my work for sure on the sword wounds. I mean, that's a classic Durrani pattern right there.
I don't have fancy name for technique, but those testicles on the wall were definitely thrown by my claws.
Am I holding my gun right now?
Yes, or it's at least in a relaxed position.
So Chaos is gonna say, Pickle.
Yes,
A
we
little
know.
late for
Things
that.
it's a little shitty. Well, less shitty than it was going to be, but shitty in a different way.
I'm gonna look at Ralph first. Is like, are you okay? Are you wounded?
No, I'm fine. No wounds at all.
Chaos?
Mm-mm.
Baz?
I will check Spaz and answer the answer. If Spaz doesn't look injured or smell injured,
You see no signs of physical trauma on Spaz at all.
Pickle.
And
Uh,
just
he looks fine.
a GM thing. So I failed my spirit roll too, but apparently since I didn't have a hindrance for that, I'm okay right now.
Right now you're okay. You're just
Okay.
you're still in like what you're doing with the whole WTF. But
Okay.
yeah.
I feel like somebody, whatever that thing is we saw, got into our heads and unleashed the very basest nature in each of us. For you and I, Rage, it's not so hard to reach that animalistic nature.
No.
I think it is harder for Spaz and Chaos. But whatever
Okay.
it is. And she will look at the male and go, "Hey, you there."
There's a number of them. There's roughly a dozen or so in these things, but one of them puts a paw up to the plexiplastic or whatever that's there filled with holes. Puts a paw up and says, "What is it?"
Did we do this? Did we
Oh,
make this mess?
you most definitely did it. All of that, and his paw gestures around. That one dead by his sword there. That one dead by your claws there. That one ripped apart by the matrix from the crying one there. You did all of this. Him there, he threw his glasses at that one. When he went to go catch him, then he shot him, grabbed his glasses, put back on head.
That tracks. Okay, what have they done to you in here? Have they been in your head?
They have done much to us here. Many, many things. Many things. Many tests. Many experiments.
Did they
Not-
take your temperature?
They did more than that. They did much more than that.
We need to get you out of there.
Get us out. Get us out. You're here to rescue us. Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, we are speaking the same tongue, yes?
Yes.
Then I did not stutter. We are
Mm.
going to get you out.
Perhaps this is just another test, eh? Perhaps this is just something else. And then one of the other Scissoracs next door says, No, no, no. No, listen to her. I think this is for real. I think they're here to rescue. Yes, that's what Piotr thought last week. Where's Piotr now? We don't know.
Can
I don't think you're here to rescue. I think this is just one more test by them. I don't even think them are really dead.
Okay. They have definitely been inside at least his head. Because,
When he said he didn't even think that one was dead, I'm just gonna stick the sword straight down into one of their heads. They're dead to me.
Okay, so what? Oh, go ahead and say go ahead, Cass. What were you gonna do, or what are you gonna say?
So can I make a notice roll to see if there's any like papers or charts or things around that might have information about what this room was for or about the Scissorax or like any paper? I just want to see like if there's any paper trail around us.
Absolutely. Make that notice roll.
Let's see. A 2 and a 1. I'm gonna spend a Benny to
Okay.
re-roll that one. That's better. 5.
5. All right. Yeah, you start looking around and going towards nearby monitors and running your fingers across the keyboard. And sure enough, yeah, this definitely looks. I mean, it's definitely a medical room of some sort. But with a little bit of finesse, you're able to access various either testing files or other sort of project files related to the tests that they might be running on these Siserac.
Tell me something there, mouthy one.
Mm.
Has there been another female through here?
He looks to the other one, and what we'll do before he answers, we're gonna effectively enter into what's called a social conflict. And social conflict in Savage World is basically, it is another skill challenge of sorts, but there is a little bit of RP involved, and so this is for everybody players wise. We're going to go about roughly about 3 rounds, and the length of these rounds will kind of really vary depending upon what happens. But in a social way, you are of course trying to convince these Siserac that you're actually here to do what you're saying to do. The one who has been talking so far is not necessarily convinced of this. The goal over the course of these 3 rounds is to acquire as many successes as you can, very much like a dramatic task. At the end of the 3 rounds, and of course, his job is going to be to try and take away some of those successes. At the end of the 3 rounds, we'll total up the number of successes that you have, and then we'll see exactly how this is going to go. So what was your question? Oh, another female Siserac.
Yes,
He
has another female come through.
Okay. He looks at the one who seemed to be on your side in regards to the whole rescue idea, and then looks back and he says, "Yes, as a matter of fact, there was. Um, I can't remember exactly how long ago it was." And he speaks up a little bit as he kind of tries to crane his head to the other Siseracs here. "But I think you all remember what happened when she came here. You were all very eager to go. We went. We got out to the grounds, and you all remember what happened then, don't you? Yes, yes. Bandani was killed by that one. You remember that? I know I do, because he was very close to me. And then back into the cages we went. No, 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 no. This is just another test. Just another test."
Stand on your hind legs, male, and show me where they took your balls from you. At what point in time did it ever become acceptable for a male of our species to act like such a pansy? You're a warrior species. And here you are sniveling and hiding behind glass. Pathetic. The rest of you who want to come, line yourselves up and get ready. We take the fight to these lizards, and then we feast, my tigers.
Okay, now, I'm going to have you make a persuasion roll, because that definitely sounds like persuasion to me, and that was really good, so I'm actually going to give you a +2 on that. Now, the rest of you, if you want to do something in the context of this round to support what Rawl is doing, and that could be something just as simple as like what Chaos did, or I'm sorry, what Rage did with the sword into the skull. It doesn't have to be words that necessarily backs this up. You can kind of, just like dramatic tasks, I'm open to whatever you can come up with that would act as a support. And your support rolls will then give a modifier to the persuasion roll that Rawl is about to make.
So while Raw's doing that, Rage is just gonna sit there with the sword out, just a scowl on his face, trying to look as intimidating to to counterpoint her intimidation persuasion.
Okay, so in effort, so you're like physically backing up what
Raw, yeah,
she's saying. Raw.
yeah.
Okay, that's to me. That's either going to be. I'm going to say that's either going to be intimidation or fighting, depending upon the physical posture that you're going to try and take here.
If we're gonna go, if you're gonna allow me to use fighting, I'll use fighting with the D10.
I will let you use
Definitely.
fighting. Okay. All right. So go ahead and make your fighting roll first, so we can see what kind of pluses.
So with the support, do I roll the six-sided one too?
Yes, you
Okay.
roll your wild die with that. Absolutely.
Woo! I blew up the 6. Oops, sorry. That is a 9, so that's going to be a success and a raise.
Okay, so that's going to give Rawl. That's going to give you a +2. Now, Spaz, you're kind of coming out of your spasm, I guess.
Yeah, Spaz was like still kind of freaking out on the floor, and then as Rawl kept speaking, the little tremors and the shakes. First of all, the vocalization stopped pretty quickly, and then as her words like grew in passion, there was a little giggle at the "show me where your balls are" line, and to the point where she's issuing this clarion call to battle of these males. Spaz kind of feels like comes back to himself and shakes it off, and finally gets to his feet and walks over to stand next to Rawl and just looks at the males and goes, "You know what? If somebody as short as me can be part of her pride and stand up to these people, I'm sure all of you can, because you're like her, except, male. Do things!" Spaz isn't really good at stirring speeches, but he's going to try and help.
He's going to try. Okay, that does sound like persuasion. So go ahead. I'm going to have you roll that persuasion as a support.
Yes, my mighty D4. Here we go. Okay, that is a 4 on the wild die. I'm going to take it.
Okay. All right. That is a success. So that's going to give you an additional +1. Raw. Chaos. What about you? Are you going to be do anything to support?
Yeah.
Or are you
so
going to
I'm
continue
gonna,
to? Are you going to? Or are you just going to continue to go through the computer?
I think I'm going to turn back and like look over my shades with like my beautiful baby blue eyes and say, I bet the previous female did not have a crew that looked exactly like us. We're the real deal. And try and persuade.
All right. That also sounds like persuasion. All right. So go ahead and roll that.
Let's see.
Real quick, while rolling, Kaylee,
Six.
did you roll a 4 on your D4?
No, it's on the D6.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought. Okay.
Okay. And
Nope,
Chaos, you
didn't
got a
get that
6.
Mhm.
All right. So that is going to be an additional +1. Okay. So Rawl, you have a total bonus here of +4 because you got +2 and 2 plus. No, actually, you're going to get a total +6 because
Yes, because you
yeah,
gave me
it's
+2.
yeah, +1 +2 +1 +1.
Yes.
Yes,
Plus 2 plus 1. I love
it's
you, Chris.
well, if
That
you
was
can
good.
work in, I mean, everybody does, everybody does Monty Python references, but if you can work in a Clue reference, I mean, come on. So okay,
It's
so
next level.
it's absolutely. So that's a +6 to your persuasion roll that you get here with this.
Okay. Well, I got a 1 on the 6, but I got an 8 on the 8.
Nice.
And a 7, which is 15, plus 6 is 21.
Wow. All right. 21. So let's see. We got this. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So right now you're at 5. All right. So you say that to him, the where's your balls? And you do see some of the Scissoracts do seem to respond to what you're saying. But he tries to stand up and his back slams into the top of his little coffin cage there, and he says, yes, I could show you, but I'm stuck in here. We stuck in here all the time because of all of what they do to us. And it was you. You say to us, yes, we're a warrior species, but where were you when we were taken? There was no defenders for us. You let us go. You let us go. We were taken by these sickening snakes, and they brought us here, and many of my brothers have died from their tests and experiments. And they taunt us, they humiliate us, they do all of these things to us. And these fools, and he bangs against the side of the wall, and he says, these fools continue to try and want to get out, but I know what our fate is here, and you should all know what your fate is here. This is nothing but the test.
So,
Now-
you'd rather stay here and die in a cage than die trying to fight your way out?
Okay, wait, hold that thought
Oh,
and hold that
sorry.
speech. That's
Oh,
okay.
that's right. We're doing this in
I gotta
rounds. I'm
make my
sorry.
roll to pull successes away. Now, normally, I don't have a chat to kind of back me up on this. So I normally I might give myself a bonus, but I'm gonna leave it up to chat if I get a bonus for that, and what that bonus should be. Of course, it can't be more than +2, but we'll see what chat gives me if they give me anything as I make my roll. Okay, I got a +1 in there at least. Okay, I'm gonna spend a Benny because I rolled poorly, and I have to make this at least somewhat difficult for you. All right, +1 it is.
You have another +1.
All
Yeah,
right,
you get
so
+2 right
so
now.
the vote seems to be +1, so I will take that as a total of a +1 to my. Okay, all right, I got a total of 6, so I pull one of those successes away, so you're down to 4, which still
Wait.
is actually quite good.
Where was I? I was tricked by these snakes, and I was imprisoned, fighting my way out. I lost companion on way here. Crash VTOL, fight, walk through storm. That's why you had no protector. But let me ask you this, young man. All of the women of our planet think you are a weaker species. Right now, you prove it. You prove it with your sniveling. How many of you want today to be the day that you show the females you are worthy to stand and fight? You are worthy to take your claws to the enemy, that you are worthy of trust, you are worthy of respect, and that you are good, strong, Sisrak men. Not males, men. These right here are my brothers. They are my pride. They are my family. I would die for them.
Right.
But I ask you this. Are you going to snivel, or will you make me want to die for you?
Okay. Now, normally, I do allow if anybody else wanted to take up the mantle to try and convince him, but that was quite rousing. Quite rousing. Does anybody? I mean, so you certainly can support, or if somebody has a really, really good idea of what they want to do to try and convince these folks, I'm open to it. But you can also continue to support in this second round.
I want to support if you guys don't mind.
I don't mind one bit.
all.
All
So,
right. How are you
after-
going to support?
After Rawl finishes her speech, I'm going to walk up to the cage with the male that's just the whining little cub, basically. I'm going to look at him and go like, look at him. I'm going to look at Rawl going, just leave this one in the cage. He'd rather die locked up than die free trying to escape. He's no use to us. Get the rest of these behind us. They seem to want to be able to fight their way out of here. There's the real men. This is just a spayed little kitten.
That sounds like a taunt.
I can go taunt.
All right.
I don't have
Taunt roll.
What is taunt though? I don't have taunt.
Taunt is a skill. I believe it is based on tied to your spirit. I think.
Yeah, I
no,
don't have that as a
no, it's
skill.
tied to smarts. It's tied to smarts. Okay, but it doesn't matter because
Okay.
but so you're gonna roll it untrained.
Okay.
So it's a D4 and of course your wild die. You're gonna be at -2 on the roll because it's an untrained skill.
Okay.
But so go ahead and roll that D4 -2
Yeah,
with the wild die.
This is gonna suck.
But it was sounded really good.
It
though. I
does.
like that. It does.
Could also be an intimidate as well.
I was bordering on that, but he was starting to pick on this guy more individually.
Okay. So I'm going to spend my what do we call it?
Your point of conviction?
My point of conviction.
Whoo, okay.
I want this to work.
Yeah. All right, you could roll that D6 and add it to whatever your highest amount was.
Rolled a 6, so I get to blow that one up again.
You definitely get to blow it up.
Okay.
Yes, dice will explode.
7. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So
That would be a +2 to
Yeah.
this upcoming persuasion roll. All right, that's a hell of a good support. Okay. Anybody else going to offer some support? You don't have to. I'm just putting it out there.
Is that all the other males are still in their cages, correct?
All of the males are still in their cage.
Okay,
None of them have been let out yet.
How are the cages secured? Are they like electronic locks? Are they like physical, like, I assume they're not physical bars because they could just
Right.
open them.
There probably are electronic locks of some sort.
Okay, Spaz is gonna go up to the, like, not the mouthy male, but one that looks like it's wavering, like being swayed by the whiny cub, and just goes up and puts his hand on the lock, and I'm gonna try and drain energy from it to see if it snaps open.
Okay, cool. Is there something? No, if you just have to basically stand there to do that, right?
Yeah.
Just for the heck of it, since you're kind of so we can see the effectiveness of it for the purpose of the social conflict, make a whatever your skill is, your
Generation.
Yeah, roll that.
Yeah, and if this does work, I'm gonna start doing it to each one,
Okay.
and in turn to kind of give Rawl the look. We're actually freeing you type, a physical, tangible. Look at this. We're working for you.
Got it.
I did not crit fail, but I am going to spend a Benny to reroll that because that was just actually a success, and I want to do better than that.
Yep. Don't forget the wild die.
Yep, I did. That's an explosion on the D10.
Oh,
That's a
nice.
17.
Okay.
Thank you, Benny.
Yes, the most you can get support-wise is +2. So yep. So now we're sitting at a +4 to your support here. Chaos. What about you?
Is it possible for me to, on the computer system, am I able to find evidence that, like, backs up that we aren't with them? Like, can I, like, search for us and see if anything comes up?
Ooh, I like that. That sounds like hacking.
Hacking. I always end up tripping forward into hacking. All right.
That's right,
Let's
because
see.
you did last session
Yep.
too.
And
Right.
you
Thankfully, I'm
succeeded at it,
trained
so-
in it. That's something.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So, a D4 and a D6. Let's see. I'm going to spend a Benny to re-roll that. Wasn't a crit failure.
Okay.
All right, that's a 4 on the D4. So let's re-roll. Let's roll that. 2. So that's a 6.
6, which will give you another success. So now we're sitting at a +5. And you've already set the baseline for how you've been role playing. So the +2 that I gave you initially, I'm gonna hold back on that and just give you the +5 that you got from your support companions here. But go ahead and make that that other. Would you say this is persuasion roll, or would you say this is intimidate? And how you gave this speech?
I still would say it's persuasion because I'm trying to convince all of them by focusing on him
Okay.
and countering what he's saying. Unless anybody disagrees with that.
No, go for
No,
it.
that makes sense to me. All right, so yeah, this +5.
Okay. I'm gonna spend a Benny because I get 2 2s. We're gonna re-roll that. Okay. And then I got an 8 and a 6.
Jeez. This
So-
having flashbacks to last session when you guys were killing it with the dice.
And another 8.
Oh my gosh.
And a 7, so
Damn.
16, and 7 is 23, plus 5 is 28.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so successes is effectively, I think we've entered into shit ton territory.
Yes.
That's a lot. What that would be? What 6? 6 times 4 is 24. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, wait, you got 28 though?
Yeah, with the plus, yeah.
Mhm.
But it only goes in factors of 4.
Right.
Oh no, so you're right.
That's
You're right.
7.
Actually, that would be 7. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right.
Because I'm not doing math correctly. So
That's okay. I
yes.
pulled up a calculator to
Math.
confirm it because I don't want to embarrass myself with simple math.
You know, and Savage Worlds they even provide like handy little like raise calculators, and I could have just looked on that to see how many successes that was. All right. Anyway, so we're at 7. So your total successes is 11. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Since you clearly are killing it here, I'm gonna roll before he says anything, and then I'll play mine like that. Okay. You finish with what you're saying, um, and after you get done saying that, before you can even respond, both Spaz and Rage walk up and do their respective actions, and you definitely hear the lock go, give it that confirmed click, so the door opens. You take your hand away and the door goes open. And Rage, you do what you do is you kind of taunt um, the main one speaking, and then Chaos, you back it all up with you take this feed and you put it to all the monitors so all of them can see, and you show them evidence of the past testing teams, and you're able to even find some other additional information which places you from, like, maybe it's like file footage from the prison or something like that, that shows that you all definitely are not part of this group. And the male Siserac, he goes to speak, but at that point all of the rest of them, they're all, and they're pushing against their doors, and as they wait for Spaz to go to each individual one, and the one whose door open, that one jumps out and he comes right up to you, Rawl, and he gets down in that male submissive position in front of you, and he looks up at you and he says, "You are right. We are here to fight with you. Let's go."
Then stand. Do not submit. Stand.
And he
Stand and
looks
look me in the face as an equal.
he looks at you tentatively, like he's not sure that he should do that. But as you continue to stare, he just, like, slowly just begins to rise up, first on all fours and then to his hind legs. And the rest of them, as they're all coming out, as Spaz goes through and frees them, they jump down and kind of do the same. What are you going to do with the one who didn't? The one who is speaking against you?
She will walk up to him, now that he's free. Are you going to follow? Or are you going to roll over and show belly? You going to prove to me that you have what it takes to be Tiger? Or are you going to lay there, like he said, helpless kitten? Because this here, as she points to Rage, this is a warrior with honor. There is a lot you could learn from him. Or I can tear your throat out and leave you here. Makes no difference to me.
His eyes, they flick and dart around, and he looks at all the monitors that Chaos has been feeding with this information and the images and everything, which seem to back up everything that has been said. And
Fully with the image of her turning to the side, dropping that gun and flipping that guy off as she blew him into smithereens, that red paste cloud. Just to add the cherry on the top for him.
And his eyes finally come back around to you, and he says, "All right, I believe in you. I'm sorry for doubting. They have been not kind."
I am sure they have not. From what we have seen, it has been bad. They have been in your head, just like they got in our head. Somehow we did all of this, but none of us remember. So all of you, be wary. They will try to play with your heads again. You remember who you are. You have a hard time? You look to my friends. The very brave Rage. The very wily Chaos. And the very powerful Spaz. We are here for you. If you start to doubt, you remember we Siserac? We never lose. We win or we learn. And today, we draw blood.
All right. He bounds out of his cage, and they all kind of pull in around you.
Little close.
With the screens, did I perhaps find any video of us entering the compound?
I'm gonna have. That's a great question. I'm gonna have you make me another hacking roll,
Okie dokie.
and I'm also gonna give you a Benny for asking that question.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll give the and all of you, all four of you, get a Benny for well played social conflict. We don't even need to go to the third round. You had way too many successes. There was no way I was going to be able to counteract that. But that's cool. That's good.
See, I got a 5.
A 5. All right, you you're able to hack into the security feed. Sure enough, and you're going through there, and unless there's some layer of security that you didn't haven't encountered or something, you're not seeing any evidence of how you got in here. You're not even finding security camera footage of you coming through the door into the med room here.
Huh. That is strange. I'm going to try and signal to just the 3 other companions, so like try and get them to come a little bit closer to me so I can whisper to them like, hey, just so y'all know, still not sure how we got in here. I can't find any trace of us even entering the room.
I'm gonna look at Spaz and be like, did you use magic?
You're muted.
Oh.
No,
Again?
you're
Okay.
Again, it's not magic. I use
It's
my
magic.
abilities to harness the functional feng shui of the. Okay, fine. It's still magic. No, it's not me. But yeah, there's something really weird here. I like one of the videos. Like they said that I blew some of them apart with a kinetic blast, but I don't feel tired enough for that. So something weird is going on. Chris,
I'm
is
gonna
there
pinch
any way,
Spaz while he's talking to see if he
Chris,
feels it.
Oh, he definitely feels it.
Is there any like? I'm gonna go to a D&D term. Is there a way to disbelieve this? Like, Spaz works with the underlying reality of physics. Is there any like sort of notice check I can make to like the wave their hand to look for pixelization again to look kind of see? Are we in the Matrix?
Sure. That's also a very, very good question. Make me another spirit check. This time at again at a -4.
God. Okay. I have a spirit. It's actually a D8. So that's not bad.
That's not bad.
I am going to spend my point of conviction though,
Ooh, okay.
and that gets me an extra D6. Correct.
Correct, and you get to add it to that result. You bet.
All right. Come on. Can I spend a Benny on this roll?
On the
It's
conviction,
a success, but it sucks.
on the conviction roll,
On the
or the
I-
roll is the roll total.
the
I mean,
the roll total.
yes.
If I have to, I'll keep the conviction. It's a 2. I'm not happy with it. I'd rather reroll all
No,
of it.
no. And again, I think this comes down to like a GM fiat thing. No, if you're gonna spend a Benny for a reroll, then reroll all the dice.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah, because I just got a 5 would be enough, but again, I don't. This
You want
feels
to get
too
a raise
important.
out of this.
Yeah, I want to get. Well, I love getting a raise out of people, so you know. Okay, slightly better. I got an 8 total.
An 8 total, which is a success
That's
with
one
the raise.
raise.
Okay. All right. So everyone's kind of prepping, getting ready to go, and you're just Spaz. You're not feeling right about things, and so you kind of focus inward, and you're trying to access those energies to see. And As you push out in an effort to try and see exactly what the hell is going on here, you do feel something pushing back on you. And so you focus in a little tighter and you push hard against it. And as you begin to push against it, you can start to hear something. It might be words, it might be moans, it could be growls. You're not sure. It's whatever it is, it's definitely muffled. But there, at the very least, you can pick out an excited sort of tone to these sounds that you're feeling or that you're hearing. And you continue to push, but it continues to push back. And at some point, you're almost like you're pushing to the point where, you know, like when you close your eyes really tight and you can see those stars, you're kind of getting some of that. And you swear that the stars that are forming in your vision almost start to take the appearance of the shadowed face that you saw in Zumi's cave. And as you continue to push, the stars kind of begin to push back and you feel the pressure, and there is a bit of an explosion of sorts, and you are finally pushed far too hard back. And go ahead and make me a vigor roll.
Okay. That would be that. That's a 5.
5. You snap back out of it, and you have to steady yourself against a terminal. But you're breathing heavy, but you don't suffer any fatigue damage from that. But it takes you a moment to get your senses back. But that, answer-wise, is about the best you're going to be able to do.
All right, Spaz had closed his eyes during the rallying, discussion that was going around Raul, and it's kind of like just focused everywhere but here. And anyone who was looking at him noticed that he was starting to tremble and sweat a little bit, and then you notice out of one nostril is a little bit of green blood before he kind of snaps like upright, kind of grabs one of the terminals for support. It's like, wait a minute. Chaos, what does your friend Wegu look like?
He's a rather handsome fought, if I do say so myself. He and Chaos describes what he looks like.
Does that match the face I've been seeing?
It actually... there might be some similar elements, but not exactly. You find yourself leaning, maybe it was almost human, but there's some aspects of what he described with Wegu that maybe something maybe around the face, maybe that was there, maybe the nose, but obviously a Fots have a very rabbit-esque nose. So you're not sure. Your head's still swimming just a little bit.
Guys, there's something weird going on here. This is... So, you can't... There's no footage of us coming in here. We blacked out and then we were here. Does anyone remember the voices that we heard when we came through here? Because I remember... I swear one of them said Dr. Wegu.
The last thing I remember is Chaos trying to pick the lock on that storm drain.
Right, but after that, but before we got here, remember how everything kind of went swimmy? Or did that not happen to anybody else?
Yeah.
No, I remember some voices.
Yeah, you're right, and there was bright flash of light.
Now, again, my magic, quote unquote, lets me work with the forces of the universe to harness them to bend to my will, and there's something like I have access to it, but there's something pushing back when I try and question reality, which is odd because normally I question reality a lot, and that's sometimes why I drink, but that's neither here nor there. There's something weird going on here, And maybe they're right. Maybe we are in a simulation.
But
Refuse to believe that.
you just said about this doctor thing and the faces that we've all seen, like in the
Right, but
town, in the cave.
it was in the cave and the
Somebody.
picture.
What if we are still in cave? What if we have not
What if-
yet left?
What if we're still in the prison and the Fentari have us?
Well, we did not see faces before that. We have definitely got out. We did not see faces at Crash. We did not see faces until we went through Storm and went to Cave. So potentially, maybe a little bit. I think somebody's been in our heads for a bit.
And if I might offer a suggestion, Chaos says as he walks away from the terminals, and he kind of like puts a hand on his hip and like offers a hand forward and says, even if we are still in some sort of weird mind freak prison, what could we possibly do about it from here? We have no way out but forward.
But hold on a minute. Now, Spaz, correct me if I'm wrong. If we are in somebody else's head, right? Or somebody else is in our head, yes? They are manipulating what's going on in here. They have to have anchor in our head, yes?
I mean, I don't technically, probably. I mean, if
So
they're
if we
using some
find-
sort of, yeah, we
But if-
have to find like an anchor point.
Right. And then if we do enough damage to it, we may be able to mind fuck them back.
Chaos,
And
make
make
me a
them let
notice
us
check.
go.
Okie dokie.
I mean, your theory holds water in a kind of a simplistic way, but I mean,
But do you have
it's-
better idea?
5.
Why don't we just keep smashing our way out until we really figure out what's going on? Or
Mm.
can we find out who's the director of this compound? Maybe go get answers out of him.
But if we're not really in compound, the answers will all be lies.
As you're saying that, Chaos, you notice, you can see on the security cam footage on the outside of the grounds, you can see what appears to be a rallying of Pythonian guards, that they may be rallying to either come down into your area, or doing something to kind of either secure or block or trap you guys in there. I thought you said we were leaving. You come,
Yeah.
you set us free, and now you sit here and debate and talk.
Do you want punched in your muzzle? Do you want me to rip your muzzle off? It would be hard for you to shoot off your mouth if you don't have one.
You see some of the other males go, you said we would go. You said we
We
would
are
go.
going.
We're talking. We're talking. That's all we're doing is talking.
It's called
You said we would go.
strategizing.
Let's talk and move, because they are assembling a force outside and I do not want to meet them.
No, I'd rather meet them on our terms than trapped in this room. So yeah, let's go.
Yep, let's roll.
All right. So you rush towards the way. You realize as soon as you go out the door, you don't know the way out. And the mouthy Scissorak, as you kind of all stop and you get to like this intersection and you're not sure, and the mouthy Scissorak, the very last one that you convinced, I almost said cowed, but you didn't cow him, you convinced him. He steps forward, he says, I know the way. This way. And he leads you out.
Let's do it.
So we just follow trail of bodies should tell us where we went. Or where we came from.
Follow the blood
Strangely,
splatters.
you don't find any of either of those things.
The plot thickens. Okay, we follow. Oh, hey, do we have the Scissorak's name?
Yeah, his name is Bahari.
Bahari. Right, let's follow Bahari.
All right. So you are racing up, and it becomes this frantic kind of pathways as you're going up, and you probably go up maybe about 3 levels, and you bust out of the main building. And sure enough, as you do, there are a number of guards, and you could hear people shouting. And Rawl, you see amongst them, as you're all kind of taking up, getting into like your initial guarded positions, you see this one particular Pythonian step forward, and he has a scar across his face, and he looks very familiar. And it takes you not even a second to realize that this is Lars Systalis, or Systals. Sorry.
Glad I made that easy for you to
Yeah,
pronounce.
you made that super easy when I asked you what his name might be, and I clearly I stuck the landing on that one.
You forgot the hissing. You
I
forgot the
did.
hissing.
I
I'm kidding.
did. Yeah. Okay, so we are definitely moving into a combat. Here's the deal. As far as the male Scissorax are concerned, you got more than enough successes that they're all in. Even despite the little disagreement before you took off, they're all in with what you want to do. So whether you need them to go and attack in a certain area or something else, whatever you want to order them to do, they will do. Of course, there's plenty of other things here for you to fight as well. So let me get those called up here.
I just hope those scissor or the snake people aren't armed with a bunch of empty boxes.
I'll give you a Betty for that.
You're a funny man. That's okay. On your gun, you have laser pointer. We'll get them back to our side.
Perfect.
Put the red dot on him. They'll all attack him.
That's not the worst idea.
All right, let me
That's
put
actually
these up
awesome.
to the side. Got the cards.
Yeah, and we also have that adventure card too, as well.
Yes, you do. You have the adventure
Yeah.
card for the cavalry.
And
Right
also, not to
on.
derail everything, when we do initiative, I get the 2-card draw.
Yes, thank you. All right. So yeah, let's go into initiative here, and let's do this. Chaos. Very nice. Ace of Spades.
Ooh, thank
Yeah.
you.
So spades. Rawl. 7 of Clubs. Rage with his 2 cards. Either a 9 of Hearts or a 2 of Clubs. I'm assuming you're going to go with the 9 of Hearts.
Yeah, 9 of Hearts, please.
And Spaz gets a 10 of Diamonds. Very
Nice.
nice. Okay, the Pythonian Guards are going to get a 9 of Diamonds, and Lars Zersistelis is going to get a 7 of Hearts.
He's like us, then he'll get the soak and the...
Yes, he is definitely a wild card.
Okay.
All right,
Now,
where'd my
now, are they
go?
charging us down a hall, or did we make it outside?
No,
I
you have
forgot
made
outside.
it outside. So, just to kind of give you a better description, so yeah, you're outside the building. There are other buildings. There are vehicles, of course, nearby as well. If you wanted to, attempt to escape via vehicle, I will say that the Scissorax will go on Rawl's initiative. So if there's something you want to order them to do, they'll do it on your turn, Rawl. Yeah. So there's guards around here. The other buildings, some vehicles. Yes. All manner of things. But first up is going to be Chaos.
So, are there like boxes or crates or things in this outside area, or is it a mostly like open area?
I will say, unless you want to spend a penny for a specific types of placement of something, there are some crates, probably like double your pace away from where you're at. But yes.
Let's see. I'm going to start making my way towards those crates, and I'm going to fire my laser rifle at some of the minions, trying to pick off the number of minions around.
Okay. Perfect.
So that's going to be shooting, right?
That is correct.
Let's see, that is a 4 on the D8, so that's just 1 success.
That is correct. Yep. That you land a shot on one of the minions. Absolutely.
All right, and then oh wait, no, that's just on a raise. Okay. Damage 2d6 plus 1. Okay. Oh, nice. That is 10 damage.
10 damage on one of these guys. All right, let me just do some quick math here. Okay, let's see. Is there any AP on that weapon?
Do not believe so. No.
Okay. So, and this is a laser?
Yes.
Yeah, so you start running and you crack off a shot at one of the Pythonians, and it hits his armor, and it looks like the armor just basically absorbs that and disperses the energy, but it did not seem to affect him.
Cool.
But you are halfway, excuse me, to the crates, and that's going to bring us to Spaz.
Okay, so I should be at full power points because I drained all those cages.
Yes, you absolutely are.
I am going to do something. What's the clue? So I wanted to do a blast, which will get me, I believe, a medium blast pattern. How many of them can I get?
I will say that you can, at least right now, granted, there's probably some more coming from areas that you haven't seen, but you definitely would be able to get 3 of them for sure that are immediately faced. 3 of them. There's 5 that are in the immediate vicinity, 6 with lasers. So, but you can get 3 of them, but you can't get Lars.
Lasers. Okay, I'm gonna work on getting the 3 but that are kind of near the vehicles. So, like, if we send people that way, the path is a little clearer.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna activate blast for 3 power points. I'm gonna spend +2 to turn it elemental. It's gonna be cold, and then I believe I can spend 2 more to up the damage.
You can, so the base damage becomes 3d6. Yep.
Okay. Well, let's see if I hit. That would probably be important.
Did you get a crit fail?
I got a crit fail.
Oh no.
All right.
One of us.
Whatever you're gonna do, Chris, I accept it, but I also maintain that because of my hindrance, Spaz at the end of it is gonna need a spirit check.
Nice. I can get behind that. All right. Let me think here. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm gonna say so. You were trying to kind of clear the path to get it towards. So it's clear a path towards one of the vehicles. That was kind of behind and beyond these Pythonians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So you run up there and you begin to concentrate, and you start having like funky flashbacks to what you just went through, and your vision does kind of a Sam Raimi zoom and push as it just seems to stretch, and you misjudge the distance, and the blast goes off dead center on the vehicle that you were going to have these things go to. Go ahead and roll damage. And I'm going to have you roll it as if you did a raise, so give me 4d6 damage.
Oof. That's not going to be friendly. Oh, come on.
How many 6s did you get?
3.
Oh, jeez.
So 22 plus 26, 30, and another raise. So that's 36, 40 points of damage.
Nice. So this we'll say it's like a truck of some sort that was going to be big enough to hold all of you, and it just essentially just like ices over, right? Because you turned this to cold. Yeah.
It basically turns into this giant ice block that it's encased in about a meter of ice.
Nice. Yeah, and it's just it's stuck there completely inaccessible from anyone. That's awesome. Yeah, and go ahead and make me the spirit check.
Okay, I got rid of the bad juju. I'm sure this is going to be perfectly acceptable for a spirit roll. Nothing terrible is going to happen at all.
It's fine. You're fine.
It's a 4. I made it.
All right. Yep. So you keep your wits about you. However, it does disrupt you a little bit, because remember the spirit roll that you failed when I said just mark that down that you failed?
Yeah.
This coupled with you, Rage. Okay. Oh, not bad, you guys. That's not bad. So you're still kind of freaked out about that. You see what happens to the truck. You try and keep your wits about you, but then you start having, again, more sort of flashbacks, almost to like when you had the flash of white and your vision began to pixelate a little bit. And you, for the next round, are going to be considered distracted.
Okay.
Rage, the kind of the exact same thing happens to you as you're getting ready to go in and engage combat. Your brain sort of travels back to that experience as well, and you get a little dizzy and you get a little nauseated again, and your vision starts to go. You are also going to be distracted, but that's going to be for 2 rounds for you. All right, that was Spaz. That was an excellent round for Spaz. I love it. Which brings us now.
Sure was.
Which brings us now to Rage. It is your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and announce it. So the light sword expert, I'm going to do +2 to my fighting rolls if I use the sword.
Okay.
But how far away are they right now?
You, if you wanted to, you could certainly run up to one with your sword. Yes. That's in this initial like line of 5. If you wanted to, the Lars, for lack of a better pronunciation on my part, is a little bit further back, so you wouldn't be able to reach Lars this round. So he's kind of behind that initial line.
Okay. I'm gonna take. Let's see. I'm gonna do 2 shots with my pulse rifle because I have a rate of fire of 2. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do two different targets.
Okay. All right.
So what does the distracted do for me? That doesn't affect my attacks.
It will affect your.
Okay.
It will affect your. Yeah. So you're distracted. So you're going to be -2, and if you're shooting, the recoil mod on both shots is going to also give you a -2. So you're going to be -4 on both these, and then of course, so roll 2 shooting dice, shooting skill dice, and then your wild die.
Oh, that's just pathetic. I'm gonna spend a Benny to reroll. Now it wasn't critical, but I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Okay.
Ooh, okay, that's better. That's a 5 and a 7, so still not successes. With a -4.
Yep. Nope. Yeah. 3 is the best. Yeah. So you rattle off your pulse rifle, and it just goes high above their head as your vision just kept glitching, and you weren't able to zero in on them.
I'm just like,
Hey,
what is going on?
And that
Chris, I got a quick question. Was my spirit roll supposed to be at a -4?
Not the one that
We just did.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just
Right,
want to make sure I didn't check.
Yeah. I only use that level of abuse when I really need something to happen. But
Fair.
okay, now it is their turn, and in the spirit of equity, I think they're going to each shoot at you individually. So let me find their shooting. There we go. Okay. All right, so 4 of them are each going to take an individual shot at you, and then one of them is going to take his shot at the male Scissor-Axe. Okay, so only 2 hit. This is just a single shot. Let's see who got what. Rage, you were hit, and I hit Rage twice. Come on. There we go. Rage and Chaos were both hit.
Excellent.
They pop up these machine guns and they steady them and just right at you. Rage, you are going to take, 15, 16, 17 points of damage.
Okay.
So what is your, obviously your armor's all better now,
It's
so
15 total.
15 total. All right, so you are just straight up shaken. That's it.
Okay.
All right. And
So
then
nothing. I don't take any absorbs off or anything.
You don't have to take any absorbs off because it didn't do a wound, but you are. But the impact from that alone just kind of And what is your what's your total toughness there, Chaos? Just so I
So my toughness plus my toughness bonus is 8.
it 8 plus your armor as well.
Oh, plus my armor is 14.
14. Yeah, these he rattles off, and you can just hear as you adjust your glasses as you're running, just the pinging noises as these rounds just bounce off your armor. No damage coming to you whatsoever. And let's see what happens to the Scissorax. They shoot, but he does not hit any of them. All right, that was not a very productive round for those guys. And that brings us to Lars.
Chris, I hate to be that person, but
Please
you didn't
do.
attack me.
No, they missed both you and Rawl.
Oh, okay, I missed that. Sorry.
They just straight up missed. And I appreciate you being that person. Don't worry, I'll get you probably,
I'm totally on board with abusing myself. So wait, can I say that on stream? Anyway,
well, you just did, I guess. So yeah. All right. So Lars steps forward. What did remind everybody what happened between the two of you, Rawl?
Well, he hired me to do a job. It was pest control. We killed some spiders for him. Big, ugly spiders at the facility. He undersold how many were there. We go in, place is overrun. So much so that he had flamethrower. Flamethrower, one bit acid, shoot through tank, blew up, lit entire side of his body on fire. He spent about a time in the hospital. A lot of us did. Because his stupid ass fired that fuel tank and blew half facility away. Well, not my problem. But while I was in recovery was when he stole the mails. And now I am determined that I am actually going to eat that barbecued snake.
He steps forward, and he's doing some cool, prep on his pulse rifle as he brings it up, and he says, "It's nice to see you again. You've decided to come for my prizes. I can't let that happen. Maybe I'll just add you to my collection."
Hey, I'm not here for the prizes, I'm here for your bollocks.
Come and get it, kitty. And he just takes his pulse rifle, and you can see he's powered it up, and he just unloads on you. He is actually going to fire 4 shots. His pulse rifle has a rate of fire of 4. There's going to be -2 on
Get that gun.
these. Yeah, it's a pretty dang nice gun, especially when it's powered up. Okay, so let's see. That is going to hit, and that is going to hit with the raise. All right, so his mouth just flies open, and his tongue just snakes out, and is almost like it's waving at you as he just starts rattling shots across, forcing you to dodge a little bit. But he does connect, and this could hurt. So we're going to flip that dice here.
And Chris, just so you know, before you roll that damage, because apparently I'm masochist tonight, Battlelords gave you another Benny.
Did they really?
The wonderful Rue gave all of the players a Benny.
Oh, that is so.
That's my girl, Rue.
That is fantastic.
Welcome back, Rue.
Well done. Yes, indeed.
Question: Can I the card that we drew at the beginning of the session? Can I only play that on my turn?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, you played on. Yeah. All right. So the first shot that hits you. Good gravy. 11, 19, 22. What is your total toughness there, Rawl?
15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
15. So 19, 23, 27. All right. So he just rakes these pulse lasers just come at you, and he is just struggling to keep this weapon steady, but they just rip across your armor, causing 3 wounds. So your absorption, I believe, is completely taken up, right? You have so yeah, it just rips away all your absorption. So you are now going to lose the toughness bonus to your armor, but you do still get the armor bonus with your base toughness. And the other shot, which also hits you, not nearly as much damage, but still pretty good. 13, 19. And so now your modified toughness is what?
11.
11, 21, 25. All right. So right now, so the first one hits you, just tears off all of the blade of protection that you have on your armor. And as you're kind of rolling to get back into position, he breaks it back across, and you're hit again with another series of shots. And this is this one hurts. You have 3 wounds coming at you. So I would imagine you'd like to spend a Benny to soak some of these wounds. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
spend that Benny. Make a vigor roll. Your target number is 4, and each raise you get after that soaks a wound as well.
$11, so that's two.
That will
well, 1 raise.
Yep. So that will soak 2 of the 3. So you right now are sitting at 1 wound. Not bad considering the devastation of that attack. Ooh, wily little kitty. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of time to get you. I can't wait to do some tests on you.
My turn, prick.
It is your turn. Yes.
I am gonna spend the other, not the Benny, the
Conviction.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to make sure I hit him. Since he has now moved to where I have line of sight to him, I want to hit him with the disintegrator. I was gonna go for missiles, but after that, I want to hit him with the disintegrator.
Nice.
And that's another D6. So I'm gonna grab another D6. Super quick. Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there.
Snake, it's a snake. It's a badger.
Mushroom.
6, 6, and 5 on the conviction die. 6, 6. So 11. That would be 16 to hit him.
Big time.
Is going to be my 3d8 plus the d12. So we got a raise. Here's where I need Sean again.
I'm ready.
But add those. I'll just cheat and use my other extra die. Okay. Okay. 6, 6, and 1, 8. So that's 12, 8, 20. 6 and 10 is 36.
36. Wow. Okay. He has a different suit of armor on than any of the other ones do. It looks like it is a heavy suit of body armor. But he still cannot shrug off 36 points of damage. So let's see how much that is. That is his toughness. So all right. So is this a single shot, or is this like a pulse thing that you got going on, or what?
It's a rate of fire 1, so yeah, it's a single shot. It's the body mounted cannon on my back.
Yeah, your little cat cannon.
My cat cannon.
Yeah, and this beam just rakes across his armor, and you can see as you strip away a lot of the absorption and ablative protection that's on there. It looks like he still has some on there, but you for sure have done a significant amount of damage to him. So well done. And he kind of rocks back a little bit with that, and that probably is going to indeed shake him. So I'm going to
also want to
uncheck.
send the male Siserac, split them in half,
Yes.
and send them in a pincher formation around, so that they're not all grouped together. I was
Okay.
going to send 2 after the car and the rest to do that, but the car is kind of...
And you're having them pinch who exactly, just so I know? Are you
Um,
having them pinch the 5 other guards,
Yeah,
or
the 5 other guards right now. We should be able dealing with the big boy. Let them take out the small fry. Let them do
Okay.
just a pincher maneuver. Hopefully panic them.
Nice. I dig it. All right. Okay, new round. Here we go. Chaos. King of Diamonds.
Nice.
Sorry, King of Diamonds. There we go. Yeah. Rawl, 10 of Spades. Rage, who is shaken. You either get a 2 of Spades or an 8 of Hearts, which I'm assuming you're going to take.
Right. So distracted and shaken. That's going to really impede me this round.
The distracted you'll be able to make a spirit roll on your turn to unshake, but you'll be at a -2 because of the distracted nature. Yes. And Spaz, who is also distracted this round, but Spaz, you get a Joker.
Nice.
All the players get a Benny, so nicely done. Spaz, you're going to get a +2 on everything you do. So, but with your distracted nature, that is just going to work out to an even thing. But well done, Joker. I knew that had to be coming up here sooner or later.
Yeah, we hadn't seen one tonight.
No. Let's see. The guards, they're going to get a 7 of Spades. And Lars, oh geez, Lars gets a 3 of Diamonds, but I'm going to spend a Benny to draw a new card for Lars. Ooh, that's a good trade up. 10 of Clubs. Still doesn't beat Rawl, but it does get him up there. Okay, so technically Chaos is first, but Spaz, you can go whenever you want.
Go ahead, Cass.
All right. So,
And
are
you-
there any?
You had also asked about your card too, and so this is your turn.
Yes. Are there any other cars in the lot?
Absolutely. There's at least a couple other vehicles. There may not be, I think because of the critical fun year that Spaz rolled, we'll say that was the only size vehicle that would have allowed for all of you to go, but there are at least a few smaller vehicles, yes.
Are there smaller vehicles close to where I am?
No. You'd have to get through the guards first.
Excellent. And would playing my card be like my turn?
No, you would still get an action as well as playing your cavalry, and
Okay.
whatever happens with it will happen at the end of the round.
Okay, so I want to finish getting to the 2 crates, so
Yep.
I have a little bit of cover,
Absolutely.
and I'm going to break out my grenade launcher,
Oh yeah.
and I'm gonna yell out to my compatriots. All right, listen, I know you told me to only use this in emergencies, but this is an emergency, so everyone stand back. I cannot emphasize enough how much you need to stand back. And I'm going to launch a dummy grenade at the center of guards and Lars or whatever. I want to try and distract all of them.
Ooh, okay. All right. So this definitely sounds like persuasion, I think, with what you're doing.
Persuasion. Awesome.
That's great. That is great.
Because I do like what? I did great on 1 damage last round and it was 10 points. So it's like, I think I'll just change the scene. I'll just add a little something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is a 6 on the D8, not on
Okay.
the D6.
All right. Okay, and you want to keep that 6? I mean, because you can try and get a better number if you want.
Let's see. Yeah, what the hell? I'm gonna spend a Benny and see if I can get a better number.
Okay.
Nope, I did not get a better number. 6 it is.
6 it is. All right. So let's see what the guards do. Oh yeah. Okay. And we'll see what we'll see what Lars does. Okay. So you say that and you do that, and then you throw the dummy grenade and the.
Can I use it in my launcher? Can I put the dummy grenade in my grenade launcher and launch it?
Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just thunk, It goes and it pops like right in the center of these guards where it needs to go, and they kind of freak out and pull back, and you have succeeded. They are all distracted this round, so that was really well done.
Awesome.
Lars
then-
on the other Lars, he did not quite fall for it. He kind of stands his ground when he's got his pulse rifle aimed at Rev.
Yeah, figured he's seen an actor before. And then after I do that, I'm gonna lean into my emergency transmitter. Oops, sorry. There. Oh, camera, focus back up. I'm gonna lean back into my emergency transmitter, and I'm going to say, yeah, this is Chaos. If you, by any means, hate some of those slithery snake bastards, we could really use some backup over here. This is a 411 situation. This is a emergency. If anyone's around who can come through. And I want to play that the cavalry comes in
Cavalry card. Okay, beautiful. All right, and chat awarded you a Benny, Stevie, for your excellent job there. That was that's a good use. That you really, you helped your party there quite a bit. Nice. Okay, that is Chaos's turn, and you called the cavalry. Rawl is next, unless Spaz wants to go.
I do want to go next, actually. Sorry, Raul. I have a question,
No,
Chris.
go ahead.
My damage field ability, matrix ability, what is the PowerPoint cost on that?
That is 4 power points.
Ooh-ha.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to spend a Benny to regain power points then.
Okay.
So I get
absolutely.
5 back.
Yep.
And then I'm going to, under the big guy and anybody near him, I'm going to throw a cold damage field. I'm not specifically aiming to do damage, but I'm basically trying to turn the ground underneath them to sheet ice so they fall down.
Ooh, okay. Nice. Around, this is around, what's the, is this a, let's see. Oh, this kind of affects like a self thing, but you want to do it. Oh, go ahead.
No, damage field, its energy controls are capable of projecting walls of fire, radiation, electricity, dogs, cats living together, mass hysteria. So with an elemental attack, so instead of putting up a vertical wall, I'm putting a horizontal wall under their feet.
Nice. Okay. And you want to target these 5 guards? Is that what you're thinking?
Yes.
Does it give you a blast template size?
It does not say.
Okay, we'll say since it's 4 power points, which is quite spendy, we'll make that a large. So you'll
Nice.
be able to affect all 5 of those guards. So yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead and do your thing here. I know exactly what.
All right, I got an 8, but my D6 exploded. So let's see, that's a 10. So I'm going to take
Nice.
the 10.
All right, so yeah, that's a success with a raise. So that's going to give them, and so basically they have to make an athletics test to stay on their feet as the ground turns to ice around them. Let's find their skills. Athletics. Okay. Here we go. They're gonna, and because
Everybody
you got
chill. Just chill out.
and because you got a raise, I'm going to give them a -2 to their roll. They failed quite handily. Actually, they failed because of the -2. I rolled a 4. So, yeah, you say everybody chill, and then the ground just slick as ice underneath them. And as they're kind of already moving to get away from the dummy grenade, each one of them in turn, boom, 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 all 5 hit the ground as they slip and fall on their asses in this icy template. And since they're already distracted, we'll say that this makes them vulnerable then as well.
Yeah, I like that.
Excellent. So now everybody's going to get a +2 on that. You're
Oh.
distracted.
Chris,
Yes.
I got a +2 to my roll, so that was actually a 12.
That was a 12.
2 raises.
Oh. Okay, so all right. So what I'll say is, because of that, when they try to get up, they're still going to be at a -2
Cool.
to attempt to stand on
I
their
dig it.
athletics test. Yeah, that's awesome. All right,
Forgot
well
about the
done.
Joker. So.
No, yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, so all 5 of them have splatted down. Lars is still standing. He was out of that blast radius, and that brings us to Rawl.
if you can knock him onto the ice sheet.
Hoping to knock him into dead. But I will do my best.
That's good. That's good too. But if you can maybe, oh, I know, get his balls on the ice sheet. They'll stick. It'll be like a tongue on a flagpole.
Oh, he doesn't have balls.
They have terrible shrinkage problems.
Very terrible. Stays all the way up inside the snake. It's chilling. Ha. Okay.
Oh, and Kaylee, I think you also got a Benny from Rue for your job well done there.
Thank you, Rue.
All right, bro.
I am actually going to fire my missile from my arm rocket because it does have armor piercing now that his armor is down even more. I'm going to take, since I have some bennies here, I'm going to take the hit and fire both of my rounds. I can fire, it rate of fire is 2 to try and hit him with both.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, -2, and roll 2 shooting die and your wild die.
2 shooting die and my wild die. Hold on. Get another rope. Okay. I got a 6 on the wild die, 6 on one of my shooting dice, another 6 on the shooting die, and a 1, which is 13. And then my wild die was 6, and 3, which is 9. So that both, and then the -2 would have been. I still would have hit with both.
Okay. With what was? Did you get any of your rolls that were an 8? It didn't sound like it. It sounded like your best was a 9 with a -2 is a 7.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So that those are both hits. What's the AP on those missiles?
5.
Damn. Okay.
And there are 2d6 damage each.
All right.
So I've got 10 on one. And
you want to stick with that damage?
and 9 on the other.
9 on the
So I
other.
have 19 total. Do I want to stick with? Yeah, because that's not bad actually. 10 on one was 2 5s. 9 on the other. Are you asking me to re-roll one of them? Are you slyly telling me to re-roll one? Yeah, I'll go ahead and re-roll one of them. I'll re-roll the second one because the first one was. Oh, I don't want to district the 10, but the 9, I'll try that again.
Okay.
Okay, 6 and 4 is 10. Let me re-roll that. 6 is 5, 15.
15. All right.
15 and 10 is 25.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Unfortunately, I have to calculate these separately. But so your first one impacts in him, and he stumbles slightly, but it does not seem to affect him. But the second one does hit him hard, and he kind of goes backwards a little bit and down on one knee as you blast away more of his armor. But he looks back up at you, and his reverse eyelids kind of do their little blinking thing, and that felt good. It's gonna be my turn next.
I'm going to redirect the cats that were headed towards they're now headed to the patch of ice to jump him from both sides.
Ooh, okay. Since they were already in motion, make me a battle roll. There's no penalty on this, to see how well you can get them to respond.
Okay, so what is the hold on battle?
Skill should be battle, yeah.
Yeah, 6 and 6. Okay.
Okay.
6, 4, so 28.
28. Yeah, you shout out the commands, and just almost machine-like is the way in which they obey you, and they just immediately pivot and redirect. All right, and let's see. There's a good number of them. Let's see what they can do distance-wise. They're going to possibly. Okay, so they pivot and go directly towards Lars, and they have good pace, obviously, as do you, and they leap as a group and just pile on top of him. And you just see all these male Scissorax just going down on top of this guy, and as they're clawing away and snarling, he takes his action, and he's going to have to fight against them instead of you. So let me resolve that here real quick. Okay, you see him. He's giving almost as good as he's getting. You see at least by the time the round ends, you see at least 4 of these Scissorax go kind of careening away as he's fighting back. But clearly, damage has been done to him. And that brings us to Rage. Rage, you are currently shaken, so make me that spirit roll, and let's see if you can unshake. And this is at -2 because you're distracted.
Okay.
And let's see, Rev, it looks like you also got a Benny from Rue. Rue is handing them out like have a sweetie, I guess.
Oh, man. I gotta reroll
Rue is
mine.
amazing.
Okay. So I'm gonna spend a Benny to reroll.
If you spend a Benny, you automatically become unshaken.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because
So-
I got a 5 with the -2. That wasn't gonna work.
Okay, yep. So you are free to act. You are still distracted, though.
So still -2.
Correct. Yes, because you're having weird flashbacks to what happened before you entered the facility.
All right, so it's the start of my combat. I'm going to take the +2 to my sword.
Mhm.
So am I close enough to get to the boss snake? Or is he close enough that I can get to him in a movement to attack with the plasma sword?
What's your pace?
7.
7. You can, but the problem is he has a bunch of Scissorax, male Scissorax around him. So you can still get in there to swing if you'd like. But if you get a 1 on your fighting die, you're going to end up killing one of these male Scissorax. But you can still go in there and swing. That's just the risk.
Right. It's worth the risk. So I'm going to kind of get up, shake my head, and just run towards the boss snake. And with all the Scissorax that are around him, I'm going to kind of like do a slide in between them, pop up, and just swing with the sword.
Oof, that's I like that. That's epic. Nice. Okay.
Does the ice he has to slide across help him at all?
Cinematically, absolutely. It makes it look even cooler. And I will give you a +2 to the roll because of a gang up bonus, as basically this Lars is just has all manner of cats on top of him.
So before with my +2, that would have put me at an even roll. So now I'm getting a +2.
Right, you're netting +2.
Cool. So this is fighting. So that's my D10, D6. Ooh, that's a 9. So that's 1 success.
Let's see, it's got to beat his parry, which it actually that beats his parry with a raise, so you're going to get an additional D6 on this.
Oh, awesome. All right, so where to go? There it is. So that's going to be strength. Damage is strength plus D6 plus 8. So 2d6 for damage. So that's 5, 11, 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage, and see, he lost that, so he still gets that. So, that might be a wound. He's gonna have to spend a Benny to soak. What is his vigor? Pretty good vigor. All right, yeah. So you slide in and you thread that cat needle opening. You swing your blade across, and he sees you just at the last moment and sort of just pivots out of the way as your blade catches nothing but air as he successfully soaked that damage.
My, aren't you a slippery little snake?
Yes, ask your friend. Very slippery, and you're about to find out. And then which brings us to the guards. The guards are down on the ground. They are both distracted and vulnerable.
The fucking ice capades in the front.
Yeah. They're going to, let's see if they can get up, because they need to properly get up to shoot their guns.
Minus $2 rolls.
Minus $2 rolls, and they can't, so I'm going to spend a Benny to give them another shot at it. There we go. All right, so they get up, and they're still kind of balancing on the ice, but they turn their guns and direct them towards the male Scissorax instead of you. And let me, hold on, they gotta get their shooting skill here. You know, it's funny, when you have multiple monitors, you think, I've got plenty of screen real estate to run a game online, and then suddenly, you don't. Shooting. Here we go. All right. Look at this, because, let's see, yeah. They take their shots into the Scissorax, and a couple of them do get hit to scare them away, but they do not take any down. They actually don't kill any of them, but they do scare a few of them away. All right, brings us to a new round. Oh wait, end of the round. That's right. Hold on, let me shuffle the cards.
What about the cavalry?
Right, the cavalry. Okay. I think we all kind of know what's coming here, don't we, with the cavalry, right? I mean, we all got a pretty good idea what's happening here.
I have two good ideas. Either Zumi makes an appearance and he's alive, yay! Or we see, what is it, Wagyu?
Well,
Thank
you definitely got one of them. So here's what happens. You hear this sort of sound, and you take a moment to look up, and approaching the gates, you see, because, you know, it's cavalry, so it can't just be one person. You see a vehicle approaching the gates, and it is at ramming speed to punch through, which it does. And above them is indeed like an ultralight, very much like from the Road Warrior that the I can't remember now. I just had the character's name, and he went out of my head. The Gyro Captain. He comes basically flying over, and sure enough, it is one-handed, because the other one's in a sling and set with braces. It is Zumi, as he's making a dramatic return in this ultralight, and he sort of kind of pivots around, and he has a grenade tucked into his little slung arm, and he pulls a pin and grabs a grenade with his little rabbit teeth and spits it out towards one area of the compound, where it then, of course, blows up, announcing their arrival. And in the truck, as it crashes through and kind of careens around to the side, the townsfolk, the people who were about to kill you for beating up their champion, Rage, they jump out armed with weapons that probably really aren't appropriate for this type of battle, but they're still here to make an effort to help you out as we move in to the third round. Excellent use of that card, and even better, what a better way to set that up with your interludes beforehand. I mean, that's just friggin' genius. I love it. It just all comes together in a beautiful way. It's just this beautiful thing. All right, new round, Chaos. You get a 9 of clubs. Rawl, you get a 4 of clubs.
Oh, I'm gonna spend a penny for a better card.
All right, hold on, hold that thought. Rage, 9 of diamonds or 5 of diamonds. I'm assuming you're taking that 9.
Taking the 9 of diamonds.
Spaz, King of Spades. Very nice. All right, the Girds get a 10 of diamonds, and Lurs gets a 9 of spades. And you want to spend a Benny, Rawl, still?
Yeah, hopefully get something better than a 4.
All right, let's see what you get. Yeah, that's a really great use of a Benny. An ace of spades is much better.
So the snake guy is going to go before I will?
The snake guy will go, yes, he has a 9 of spades, you have a 9 of diamonds.
I'm going to spend a Benny, so I want to try and go before him.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay, so like last session, you guys were killing it with your dice rolls, and clearly this session you're killing it with your Benny spending, because you got an ace of hearts. Nice. Rage. So now you are definitely going to go before him. Chaos, we will have the cavalry go on your actions since you called them. So first up is going to be the Ace of Spades. Rawl, that's you.
Hmm. Can I safely fire my disruptor again?
Into the crowd, at the guy, at
Yeah.
Lars. Yes, if you do get a 1 on your shooting die, you will hit one of your male Scissorak companions.
Okay, then I think I will just fire. I'm gonna be conservative, but I think I'm gonna fire one missile because it has auto aim to make sure that I hit him and it doesn't hit anyone else.
Okay, all right.
And the auto aim is a D6 in and of itself. That's what it says, auto aim D6. So I think I need to roll a D6 for that. Am I understanding?
That is correct.
Got a 6 on that, and 1 is 7.
Okay,
Um,
which will hit.
That's my auto aim. I haven't rolled to hit yet.
Okay,
5, which will hit, which is fine. I just need to hit him.
you did.
And 2d6.
And this has got AP 5, right?
Yes.
Ooh, boy,
So
yeah.
I got a 6 and a 2, a 6. That's 12, 13, 14, and a 3. 17.
That's going to be 2 wounds coming at him. I'm going to spend his last Benny. I still have some regular Bennies left over, but he's going to try and soak this. He does have good vigor. Good to have good
Fail it.
vigor.
Nail it!
2 wounds. Let's see what he does. Oh, that's pathetic. Make that. I rolled a 2 and a 1. I'm going to spend another Benny. Here we go. Over back to form.
I like it better when the bad guy's soaking up his own bennies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better.
He does soak one of them, but the missile still impacts hard, and he does stumble as he's still trying to fight off these few remaining Scissoraks that are
Does it
around.
push him onto the ice?
It is actually pushing him away from the ice.
Oh, damn.
I'll give you guys lots of things, but I won't give you everything.
Never hurts to ask.
Oh, no. You absolutely should ask. You bet. All right. What are you going to have the Scissoraks do? Are you going to have them continue their efforts?
I want them to continue to keep him contained, but to stay out of Rage's way, since Rage has a better chance of putting this fucker down. So I don't want them in his way, but to keep him from getting away, sort of thing.
Okay. That works for me. Rage, you are next with your Ace of Hearts.
Okay. What was the mouthy little kitten that we were taunting? What was his name?
Bahira.
Bahari.
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 Is,
Yep.
is Bahari in this group that's
Let's
kind
see.
of-
Let's see if Bahari has survived. If I'm gonna roll 2d6, if I get an 8 or higher, 9 or higher, Bahari has died.
no.
I only got a 4, so Bahari is still alive.
So, but is he in this
Dang,
pile of
I mean,
cats that are
Mhm.
fighting?
Yes, he is definitely in this. He's definitely in the pile, in the cat pile.
So before I go into my attack, because I'll be taking the +2 to my sword attack.
Okay.
I kind of lock eyes with him and I was like, "This is how you fight for your freedom," and I'm just gonna do a flourish and just kind of backhand swipe with the plasma sword across his chest.
Nice.
The
And
bad guy's not.
In yeah,
There
across
was any
Bahari's chest.
misunderstanding.
This is your last round of distracted, right?
No, I've already had 2 rounds.
Oh, you did. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, and I will give you a +1 because of the Scissorak's efforts to keep him contained. So you'll get an additional +1 to hit.
Okay. Cool. That's a 10.
A 10 will hit with a raise.
Well, no. That's a 10. I get to blow up my 10-sided dice.
Yes!
Oh,
So that's a 15 plus 1, 16.
16. Still definitely a hit with a raise. So you
Raise.
get that additional d6.
Isn't that 3 races?
You only, and for damage, only 1 raise counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
For additional damage.
And that's a 6 on one of the damage die.
Yes.
Gonna leave a
So
mark.
that's 11, 12, 13, then plus my strength, that's 19, plus 8 is 27.
27.
Yes!
Jiminy Christmas. Does your sword have AP?
No,
Okay.
it's got HW, whatever that
It's
means. I'm
a
not
heavy
sure.
weapon, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so 27 points of damage?
Yeah.
Okay, math. So 14, 18, 22, 26. That's 3 wounds coming at him. Let's spend a Benny. My second to last Benny to try and soak this. 3 wounds. Wow. Okay. So you lash out and you know it is a solid hit, and his literal snake-like reflexes are astounding to you as he almost seems to just wait for it as your sword comes, and then in a flash he turns and he grabs your wrist as you're thrusting and pulls you forward, pushing you past him, and almost like you're switching places in combat. And he's there facing you and he says, I told you I was slippery. Did you like that?
Can I do a second action?
No, because you'd have to have
declared it first. Okay.
Yep. He rolled a 17 in his soak roll, so that was how he was able to avoid all the damage. Okay, but it's still not his turn. Spaz, you're next.
Electrocute him.
Well, I was going to do something. I can either do it to him or to the 5. Who do you want taken out of the fight more?
Him.
Him.
It's going to be a little bit easier then. Okay, Chris, I'm not actually going to kill him. I'm going to spend 2 power points. Actually, I'm going to spend 4 power points to use Entangle on him.
Ooh.
And I'm basically going to create stone manacles that basically reach up out of the ground, grab him, and drag him till he's prone.
Oh, gosh, that's awesome. I love it. Okay.
Here we go. Okay, that is a 6 on the wild die for that explodes. That is a 10.
And okay, so that is a success with a raise. With a raise, he's bound. All right, which is essentially actually exactly what you wanted. All right, I gotta look up bound, but go because this doesn't happen to me very often. I'm not.
Page 98 in the book.
I'm not often bound. I just get entangled.
That's true. I did strong also, so rolls to break free are to -2.
Wow, nice. Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, so these stone manacles, they just come right up out of the ground, and he's sitting there. He's actually mocking rage, and he didn't even notice as this came up. And I would imagine they just grab and then just pull him straight down.
Yeah, I picture like they grab his wrist and then yank him down to the ground, so he's on his knees with his wrists pulled behind him, and like little stone hands come up and grab his little slimy ankles and just hold him in place.
That's fantastic. All right, love it. Yeah, he's quite restrained. All right, so it's the guards' turn. They have essentially pulled themselves off and away from the ice and are able to get up, so their distracted invulnerability has gone away. I gotta decide what they're gonna do. If they're gonna shoot at this, they're gonna have to shoot at the scissor axe, because even with the cavalry here, they've gotta do something. All right, so they are gonna unload onto the scissor axe.
If they roll a 1, do they hit their boss?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely they will. Absolutely they will. Okay, they don't hit the boss, but they do just begin to unload into the scissor axe, and oh boy, that die is gone. That one went way out of reach. And they take down 3 of the scissor axe. So there are only about maybe 4 or 5 left of these creatures. But they gun them down mercilessly, laughing the entire time, and that is their action. All right, so now it is his action to try and escape, and he can do it this round. Yes, he has to make an athletics -2, I believe.
I'd say that -2. Yeah, I was just looking up Entangled 2. He's distracted and vulnerable. Breaking free is an action.
Yep, so
grappling. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he has to spend his action making an athletics roll to get out. All right, so he's literally spitting venom as he attempting to struggle and get out of here. All right, so let's see if he does. He's at -2 with this.
Yep.
All right, so he's down on his knees, and he's looking at what's happening there, and you can see his face rage as he's doing this, and the rest of you can kind of see it from the back, but his muscles start to just ripple through his body armor in rage. You see his skin complexion goes from a green to almost a purplish red as he just heaves himself up and is pulling against this stuff, and he just struggles, but eventually he just rises up and he smashes through and he breaks it. Fragments of stone go spreading everywhere, and he turns and he looks at you, Spaz, and he's like, "You race skin, you're next." And that consumes his action, unfortunately.
Yeah, get in line. I've got boots that are more threatening than you. Although, you'll make a good, nice belt.
All right, Chaos, you get to round out the round.
All right, so how far am I able to move in a single round?
You get your pace, so if we had a map out, it would be essentially that number of squares or hexes. But tell me what it
Wait
is
for
you
it.
like to try and reach.
I want to try to reach, even if I have to run around the guards, I want to try and reach one of the cars, or like a motorcycle, something that goes vroom.
I'll tell you what. You spend a Benny, and I will let you be able to reach it on your regular pace, and we'll just consider it like a multi-action thing if you wanted to do something else.
So a multi-action would be like a -2?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I will happily spend a Benny and
Alright.
take that -2.
Okay.
I'm going to hop into the car, put it into, I don't know, gear, because there are still gears, I suppose.
Space gear. Yeah.
Space gear. I put it into space drive. I adjust the review mirror, safety first,
Of course.
and I want to gun it towards the 5 guards.
Oh, nice. I love it. All right. That sounds like a driving roll.
Sure is. All right, so I am trained in it, which is good. It's a
Oh, yeah.
D4, so it's not nothing.
Nice. This is what bennies are for.
Chris, if he crit
Oh,
fails, I
that's
know what
cocked.
happens.
Okay.
Just saying. There's an ice sheet right there.
Let's see. I'm gonna spend a Benny and re-roll that. A 1 and a 5. That's cocked. How many bennies can I spend to re-roll?
As many as you want.
I'm gonna spend another Benny to re-roll. So far, the highest is a 5. 5. Yeah, I'm gonna spend a Benny to re-roll.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Keep them flowing.
Yeah, it just ain't happening. So the highest I got is a 5. 5 minus 2 is a 3.
Okay. So you're close, but not quite. So you're trying to drive towards these guys. All right.
My intention is to hit them.
Yes. So they put themselves in a position where you had to drive over the ice regardless. And so you kind of really kind of white knuckle the wheel as you bring it, knowing that you've got to do that. And it was just too slippery, and you slid just past them. And of course, then as soon as you hit the hard ground again, the vehicle kind of jerks. But you don't lose control and spin out, and you're still relatively close to them.
Awesome.
What are you having the cavalry do? What do you want their action to accomplish here? So you've got Zumi, and then of course you've got the townsfolk.
I think the townsfolk, I'm going to point at the guards and say, "Let's get them!" And just point them towards the guards, and I'm gonna look up at Zumi and make an eye, like point at my eyes, and then point at Lazar?
Yeah, Lurs.
Lursurus. Point at the very angry lizard
Excellent.
and
All
give
right.
like a nod over my shades, like.
All right. So he spends his round getting into position to where he can do an attack on him next round. The townsfolk, they basically, what they do is they start laying down, they pull an archer or a Cyril from Archer and lay down suppressing fire. So go ahead and roll me a d6, and I'll give you a +1 on that because it's kind of a group thing, and tell me what you get.
That would be a 4 total.
4 total. All right, perfect. So that is enough that it is those 5 are distracted next round from this suppressing fire that comes down. So they have to kind of duck and whatnot because the townsfolk aren't hitting them, but they are causing them to duck a bit. All right, here we go. 4th and probably last round, I'm thinking. Chaos, 6 of hearts. Rawl, Queen of spades, very nice. Rage, 6 of diamonds or 5 of clubs. I'm assuming the 6 of diamonds is your choice. Spaz, oof, 2 of clubs.
I'm gonna spend a Benny on that when you get a chance.
All right. The guards get a 6 of clubs, and Lurs, oh my gosh, it's bad all around, gets a 2 of diamonds. So I only have 1 Benny, which I'm not going to spend. So now Spaz, so Spaz, you did want to spend a Benny?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 9 of hearts. All right. So basically everybody gets to go before my guys get to go. Perfect. Because I drew crappy. But Rawl, you're first.
Okay, so Lairs moved himself around so that Rage is no longer between me and him.
Correct. Rage is now technically
I'm going to shoot him with
him.
I'm going to shoot him with the disintegrator.
This is probably going to hurt.
Could hurt me, please no once.
Here comes the crit fail.
Nope, 6.
Oh, okay.
And 2 is 8. So yeah, I've got 1 with a raise, which will give me my D12.
Oh boy.
I started to say I just did 3D8, but no, it didn't. Okay. Oh, crap. 8 and 6. And 2 is 16. And 7 is 23. Plus 10 is 33.
Okay, I'm going to spend my last Benny here to try and soak this damage. I don't think I'm going to. I'm not even going to calculate how many wounds this might be. Because, nope, I don't need to. I know you did more than that. What does this look like when Lurs dies?
As he twists himself around and he's shaking and he turns and he looks at Spaz and he says to Spaz, "You're next." He was like, "But you forgot the kitty in corner." And when he looks at me, it's gonna hit him straight in his face. And he's just first goes his head, and then it's just gonna split it down in 2 until the back of his skull plate just goes over and spins right past Rage's head and splats onto the ground.
Nice. That's beautiful. Love it.
You got another Benny, Chris.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'll save that. I'm not sure what I'm going to save that for, but I'm going to save it. I still have guards who are probably going to get run over by a car here very soon, so that might help. Spaz, you're next. Thank you, Dot. For
I'm going to send a Benny to regain some power points.
Okay.
And then I'm going to AoE cold blast the minions.
Nice.
And I'm going to spend the extra power point to do cold. The extra power points to do cold and to do extra damage.
Oof. All right.
I'm sick of these guys. I'm going to spend a Benny to re-roll because that is a miss.
Ooh.
Not a critical miss. And I'm going to spend another Benny because that's a shitty roll, although it's a hit. That's a lot better. Okay, the 6 explodes. 6 explodes. 12. 14.
14. That is your essentially your casting roll.
Yes.
That is with a raise, so you're going to get an additional d6 of damage on that. So you have 4d6 damage. Ooh.
Okay, that is one explodey. Don't get excited. There's a 1 in there too. So that would be.
Well, yeah, it makes sense because you're not attacking a vehicle at this point.
I know, right? So math is hard. 17, 19 points of AoE damage.
19 points of, let's see, 7.
So it's hit 8, 12, 16, hit with 3 raises.
Yes. So hold on. Wait, 19. Hold on. Now math is hard for me.
20 would be the 4th raise.
No,
Oh,
but I got to base off their modified toughness.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. So what does this look like when it explodes? It does not wipe them out. It takes out 2 of their wounds on their armor. But what does it look like when this happens?
So Spaz lifts a hand again, and there's this like sudden temperature drop, and from the sky, just like this portal opens up, and in it you can see like the blackness of space, and these giant hailstones come down and start pounding on them. And as they hit, they all get coated with patches of ice that just slam into them over and over again until they're like frost rimed and kind of bleeding from the numerous impact wounds.
Nice. Yeah, and it's just dripping off them, and this doesn't help their distracted nature, as their armor definitely is damaged. But they're still here, and they're still going to try to fight, despite the fact that their leader just had his head blown off. And that brings us to Chaos with the 6 of Hearts.
So would it be a free action to turn on the radio?
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn on the radio to try and find a classic rock station. Or
Okay.
whatever passes for that, so I have some cool soundtrack. And I'm going to gun it and try and hit is a highway. And try and hit as many guards as I can. So this is going to be a driving check.
Drive. Yep. And this is not at a -2.
Yep, all I'm doing is just trying to hit him. So let's
Okay.
see, a d4 and a d6. Awesome, that's a 5.
That is going to hit. I will say that you're going to get at least 2, and if I get a 7 or better, you'll clip a 3rd. I got a 6, so you're going to nail 2. I'm going to give you 3d8 damage on that.
Yeah. 7, 4, 4, 8 plus 7 is 15.
15, which is enough to wipe out the remaining armor. So you just tell me what it looks like actually when you take out these 2.
So I do the thing where you like rev the engine before you let up on the brake, and then I launch forward and my back presses into the back of the seat a little bit, and I let one hand kind of rest as I do one hand kind of like easy riding, and I'm going to hit the patch of ice and like swerve out the back of the car so that the butt of the car swings around and knocks into 2 of them.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you just clip them, and they kind of crumple over the back part of the vehicle, and as they kind of ride that slide out, and as you stop, as you hit the dirt, their momentum takes them off, and they just go crumpling over onto the dirt. Then that brings us to Rage.
So there's
Sorry,
still...
the cavalry.
Oh yeah, the cavalry. Sorry, yeah.
So Zumi. Oh, Zumi doesn't have to fire at the guy because he's mush.
That's right.
But there's still how many
You
guards
want
are
them-
left?
There's 2. Yeah, and you can have them continue to shoot at them and keep the suppressing fire up, or it's really kind of up to you what you might want them to do.
I think suppressing fire, and I'm going to look up at Zumi and make like a circling motion to see if Zumi can do a quick circuit of the compound to see if there's anyone else coming.
Nice. Okay, that works. I like that. All right, Rage. What are you gonna do?
So we've still got two standing, right?
There's 2 standing, yes.
Sort of standing. I mean, they just got pegged by a car. I mean,
They're still picking off ice chunks, yeah, and they just he just barely got missed.
I'm gonna
But
flourish the sword, sheath it, flip the pulse rifle from my back, sight down, and I'm gonna take one shot at each of them. So
Okay.
2 shots for my rate of fire.
Yep.
That's -2?
On both, yes. But yeah, 2 shooting die and the wild die.
Okay, so that is a success with the raise. Oh, -2. So that's 7. So one's a hit, one's a miss. So I rolled a 9 and a 5. So I've got
Okay.
1 hit, 1 miss.
The 5 is still a hit.
But it's -2 though.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought you were giving me the modified numbers. Yes.
No. Sorry, that was
No,
the
no.
straight number. So
Cool. Yep. So yeah, hit and a miss. And then yeah, your wild die didn't get you enough.
that's a 1.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you know what? I'll spend a penny. Let's re-roll it. Let's end this. Let's see if I can pop both of them.
Yee. Here we go.
Still just 1 hit.
Still 1 hit. Okay.
Yeah, we'll just stick with that.
All right.
Oh, wow. I'm good at distraction, apparently. That's going to be 4d6?
And falling out of helicopters.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Ooh, I get to blow up one of those damage die. That's something.
Hell yeah.
All right, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 19. Yeah, so that's straight 19.
Straight 19, which
Yeah.
is enough to take one of them out. What does that look like as you finish one of those off?
Because being I just drew a blank on it. Whatever my religion is. Being following the warrior's way, being a sword master, I do things very calm. So I just sight down the rifle, headshot.
Nice. Perfect. Yeah, and he just and then drops. And it's their turn. And between the cavalry, the 4 of you, the remaining scissor axe, which actually we forgot to cover what they did this round, they easily surrender, and the base or this facility is effectively yours as you have established control. Because obviously you still have to get to Disconsolate Valley to get out of here. How do we see this kind of ending with what's here? I mean, because obviously the cavalry's not going to necessarily go anywhere. You still have Zumi. He's back now. The Scissorak probably still have to go with you because they've got to get off world.
Head back to the town with them. Load them up on vehicles and drive back to the town at least. Lick our wounds, repair.
And then head off. Yeah, go ahead, Stevie.
Might we maybe spend a little bit of time looting the facility?
And then
Yeah.
blow it up. Rig it to blow.
Ooh, very good.
Ooh, yes,
Absolutely.
yes, I like that.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So you figure you probably only have a certain amount of time to do so. But yeah. So we kind of end this where the group as a whole starts taking whatever you can salvage. The cavalry's maybe focused on things that might benefit their town. You guys are focusing on things that might benefit yourselves, maybe getting some of that armor fixed. And you kind of gather your supplies, and maybe we have this end shot where, of course, the explosions, where the vehicles are driving off, and you got Zumi in the background, kind of back and forth on his ultralight. And as you're driving away, the charges start going off, and the facility erupts into flames. I like that. I like that, and I think that was a good spot where we lead off, and that is where we're going to leave off. And we still have some mysteries yet to solve. We still have to get these people off world. And figure out what is the deal with these faces, what's the deal with these voices, what is the deal with the stuff that Spaz was pushing back against her. We don't quite really know what's going on here. So, but I guess we're going to find out next week as we come to the conclusion of the escape to see if they can escape off-world. Before we go, we'll go around the table. virtual table, and please take a moment to identify your socials and plug any things you're working on. And we'll go in reverse order. So Stevie, you get to go first.
So again, my name is Stevie, he, him, his. You can find me at Gigglebutch on Twitter, and I have a game called Our Flag Means Kiss about being gay and a pirate on the high seas. And yeah, excited to be here.
I just got the reference to that. I didn't. Is it tied to Our Flag Means Death? Right? Is that?
It's lovingly inspired by it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Rev.
I'm Rev. You can find mine below my socials. I've got nothing going on other than my regular stuff and this here for now. So yeah.
Excellent. Kaylee.
I'm Kaylee. You can also find my stuff down there in the socials because it's hard to spell because I can't do anything normally. You can also usually find me on the Redemption Podcast at redemptionpodcast.com. We'll be coming back from our hiatus later this year with season 8, our final season. Chaos Incorporated, our Identico actual play, picks up again next month over at twitch.com/Identico. And you can actually find me tomorrow during our Seriously Let's Play of Pandora Total Destruction with Todd. Todd Crapper. I didn't know his last name. I'm really hoping that's not a typo. Thank you, John. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Nice. And then
right here. Be here on this channel.
Crooked rasp. And Sean.
Hi. So you can go to Twitter or you can go to bink_26 on Instagram and you can see all of my attempts at painting miniatures. Otherwise, you will see me on here. Hopefully, it's so long. We're on hiatus. I cannot wait to get back to the horror on the Orient Express and start finding out if we're going to save the world or not. So that's what I got going on.
Nice. And for me, my socials are there as well. I'm mostly on the Twitters. That's where you can find links to my 2 Deadlands actual play podcasts. One set in the Weird West, one Deadlands Noir. And yeah, we already talked about Seriously Let's Play tomorrow. So yes, by all means, come back here for that. If you honor Memorial Day, please do so and have a good weekend in that. And I think, right, John, I think was that about it? We got everything else? All right, perfect. So we're good. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe out there. And don't forget, lift with the legs. And we'll see you next Friday.